representing the people of Bwezi West. Right Honorable Speaker, on 20th August 2026 at 3 p.m., landslide swept off a village called Ndrumo in Ruchiri, Buhanga sub-county. And it swept up a stretch of around 1.5 kilometers. 2 people died, 4 homes were purely erased out, 15 homesteads were displaced, and right now all those people are living on a church. I visited them, and I was able, through my meager resources, provide them with relief for 5 days. But right now, they are there and they are suffering. They don't have what to eat. Right Honorable Speaker, I request the government to do the following interventions. Number one, at least the Office of Prime Minister to send a team to provide some relief, and also to look at that area, because last year there was another valley along that same hill that experienced the same problem, and there is a river called Mukazanyara. There is a bridge that was swept off completely, and up to now that road connecting the people of Buhanga to Ibanda are not connecting. The bridge was swept off. I would also request Ministry of Works to go there and look at that bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, if they can also send experts to look at that hill and see if that is an occurrence that will continue happening, such that we see how to evacuate our people before the whole village is erased and many people die. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Prime Minister, and when you raise matters of national importance, you pick one most urgent one.
Right Honorable Speaker, sorry for the demise of the loved ones, those ones who died and those ones who are still struggling to see how they can get where to sleep and of course to eat. I'm requesting the Honorable Member to write through that committee in the district, because we need that committee's letter, especially through the cow, to know exactly what is happening, and that report can be brought to the office of the Prime Minister, and then it will be worked on.
Honorable Cheyone Ivan, MP na Kasongola. Which procedure? We are not proceeding well.
No, we are proceeding very well. It's not a procedure against my right honorable Prime Minister. Yes, it is just standing up under Rule 56, subsection 6, right honorable Speaker, under matters of national importance. It clearly states that the statement by a member may be commented upon by other members for not more than 15 minutes, meaning if for some add some more light or also comment on a member's contribution here on matters of national importance, we may as well come in and do that. And I was requesting if I could on what the previous member also raised, please, on Rule 56, subsection 6.
I thought when an issue is, you know, I don't expect an MP from Padiere to talk about Bwezi West. We are here to do representation. But there are matters of national importance that can be national in character. The Speaker is very alive to that rule, and the rule says may. You don't know how powerful a Speaker is to determine how to exercise that discretion. So I have chosen not to. Honorable Cheyune Ivan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for enriching our rules of procedure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. I rise to address a matter of national concern in Nakasongola district. There's a village called, we have had violence meted by one gentleman called Majambere. Majambere has terrorized people of Chibanja, Chiwambia, Chiwole. It is alleged that he is working for a member here. If you accept, Right Honorable Speaker, I mentioned the name.
You see the rules. You play by the rules. If by the time you're mentioning a member's name, the member has a right of reply. But also you should know that you can't mention a member's name on mere allegations. This is a place of record.
50 lorries of cows were ferried to Nakasongola, and those people who were occupying the land were beaten violently, and their bibanja have been taken forcefully by that person called Majambere. So we are seeking for government intervention. Right Honorable Prime Minister, kindly visit the area of Chiwambia such that those people can receive justice and be given back their bibanja, because Majambere has become a problem in our area. Thank you very much.
No, that is better. But as also MPs, as you bring matters coming from your villages, you can imagine a village called Chiwambia. And then they go and kuwamba things. Prime Minister?
Right Honorable Speaker, I'm going to cause a committee from Office of the Prime Minister to go and investigate information on the ground, and we find out what is really going on, together with the Ministry of Lands. From Office of the Prime Minister and Ministry of Lands, they will go on the ground and find out, then we see the way forward.
Thank you very much. Honorable Joyo Harriet Obongi. Honorable Sarah Rwansasula. Woman MP Jinja City.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Rwansasula Sarah, Woman Member of Parliament, Jinja City. Honorable Speaker, the matter I am raising upon is in regards to the relocation of Ambercourt Farmers Market. Right Honorable Speaker, the traders received a notice, a 3-month notice, and going by that notice, we are already 2 months away from that, but the traders have not been updated on where they are going to be relocated upon. I kindly ask the Line Minister to give us an update on whether that notice stands, or if there is an update on where they will be relocated. I thank you.
Minister of Works and Transport.
Right Honorable Speaker, you had just mentioned that this house, whatever we mentioned, it is on record. What the honorable member is bringing, if it at all it is true, then we need to come in as a Minister of Works. But I also beg her to lay on the table the notes she's referring to. I cannot own something I have not looked at, and they say it is valid or not valid. You lay it on the table, then we shall sort it out. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Member, the Minister is in effect saying, give him the notice so that he can compare, so that he can ask his technical people. I'm sure the notice is not written by him.
Right Honorable, I have the notice here, I can lay.
Yes. Brigadier General Rwashande Emmanuel, MP, Remiyaga County.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I raise a matter of national importance. in 1960s, the colonialists came and fenced off our land, removed the natives by way of fencing and spraying that land in order to modernize agriculture in livestock industry. But after that, they never returned the natives. The natives remained there as squatters, and other people came and occupied that land. Up to now, we still have people who are squatters who have squatted in those land, in those ranches, especially 4 ranches in my area of responsibility. And the ranches are not using their ranch, and the other ones don't have any permanence of occupying the land. My prayer, therefore, is, Right Honorable Speaker, if you can compensate the ranchers so that these natives can own the land and see how they can live a better life with their children. I thank you, sir.
Prime Minister? Or person of you designate?
Yes, I thought we have Minister of Lands, but Right Honorable Speaker, Minister of Lands, I'm going to direct Minister of Lands to go and survey the place and see how we can resettle these people, and of course they get their land titles, since we have that program of the land fund in the Ministry of Lands.
And also compensate. That is done. Honorable Nyakato Dorothy, Ginger Rwansansula.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Here is the notice from Civil Aviation Authority to the City Clerk, to the City Town Clerk, and dated 30th June 2026, signed by Alhaj Ingnia Soma, Director, Airport and Aviation Authority. I beg to lay.
Let the record capture and the copy be available to the Minister to verify.
I'll update.
We're all learning together. Honorable Nyakato Dorothy,
Thank
District
you.
Woman Representative Chitagwenda.
Yes. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Right Honorable Speaker, I raise on a matter of national importance concerning Mpanga Bridge in Chitagwenda District. Mpanga Bridge connects Chitagwenda and Kamwenje District, and the current bridge, Right Honorable Speaker, it is in a very sorry state. It is at the verge of collapsing, Right Honorable Speaker, and it is normally submerged by water, which causes water levels to rise above the bridge, the level of the bridge. Right Honorable Speaker, as leaders, we have tried to engage Ministry of Works, the engineers, but nothing has been done, Right Honorable Speaker. My prayers, Right Honorable Speaker, is to request the government and Ministry of Works to urgently look for funds and construct a new bridge, because we have lost so many lives on that bridge and properties. So that's my prayer, Right Honorable Speaker. I beg that the Ministry of Works should do something. Thank you.
Minister of Works. And she's in Nyakato, so don't say no.
Okay, thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I've been working closely with the Honorable, and she's very right. We presented this matter to Minister of Finance, and we are continuing to engage them to avail the funds. But meanwhile, as she has indicated, as we wait for finance to collect funds to give us to construct a new bridge, I'm going to get in touch with her, with the engineers there. We see what we can quickly do to save the lives of the Ugandans there as we wait for funds to solve this problem forever and ever. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Obong, Peter, Achuda.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker. The Right Honourable Speaker, in 2011, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, in one of his public rallies, went and held a rally in Awela Primary School playground. He landed at Awela Annex Primary School. His chopper plane destroyed the roof of the classroom. And he committed, as a promise, that he would put in place 20 staff houses and make that school a model school. As I speak today, the classroom that was blown is still left open and named after His Excellency. Yesterday, something happened that they read from the articles that were moving in the social media. That was saying in 2031, we may have a different president. So they got so concerned and said, if the president who made the promise to them is leaving before fulfilling his promise, I should come and put before the House.
Honorable member, you know our rules. Stops us from speculation and using social media, unverified things in this national parliament.
I withdraw.
Yes.
Right, Honourable Speaker.
Make your case for...
Okay, now for my case is, they said their prayers are, one, His Excellency fulfills his promise before any other thing. Two, they said they are questioning the person who keeps the presidential pledges wherever he goes for campaigns, that if the person could have slept on their case. And finally, they are praying that, if possible, the delegation from that school be allowed to meet the president and they discuss other confidential matters.
For you, I'm not going to ask the Prime Minister to respond to that, but I want to refer that question be extracted and forwarded to the Committee of Government Assurances, because that's the work for that committee, and then they will know how to follow it up. Next, Honourable Sarah Wekomba.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I bring a matter of national importance about the pathetic living conditions the Bunambutia resettlement homes constructed for the landslide victims of the Elgon sub-region. Right Honourable Speaker, the available information indicates that the government of Uganda, under Cabinet Minute number 383, in October 2012, of 31st October 2012, passed a cabinet resolution to continuously allocate 8 billion for consecutive years to facilitate resettlement activities for the landslide victims. Following that cabinet decision, Parliament went ahead and allocated 8 billion in financial year 2013-2014. In financial year 2014-2015, still Parliament allocated 8 billion. And financial year 2015-2016, Parliament allocated 8 billion, respectively, to finance activities for the resettlement project of the landslide survivors in Bunambutia sub-region. However, to date, Mr. Speaker, the contractor has not done most of the projects that he was supposed to do, which include housing. There were supposed to be 900 houses. We have 305 houses, so most people are not in their houses. Then we have an issue with the valley dams. None of the valley dams was constructed, and the weather is very harsh in this situation. Even when it rains, these people, the areas flood. So we had expected government to have constructed, the contractor to have constructed the valley dams so that the water can be harvested and being used during these harsh conditions. When it is hot, the soils themselves clamp, so even crops cannot survive. For example, the contractor was supposed to plant trees. There are no trees planted. And up to today, if they gave you 100 trees, hardly any tree can survive, or only 3 that can survive. Thank you. Right Honourable Speaker, I pray to set up an ad hoc committee of Parliament to carry out an investigation on the value for money for the project and report to Parliament within the time deemed fit by you, Right Honourable Speaker. I submit.
This is, we have very competent committees who work within the shortest time possible. I can refer this to the committee. You said about construction, that's infrastructure. And they can work together with that of agriculture and they get back to report on this matter. Next is Honorable Ine Godfrey was number one here, Kaguta, MP Maugola. Has anybody seen him?
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I'm very sorry for coming late.
You don't say that on record. You just continue.
Honorable Speaker, first of all, I'm called Ine Godfrey Kaguta, Member of Parliament, representing the people of Maugwa North constituency in Zimbabwe district. Honorable Speaker, my point here is in my constituency, there is a sub-county which has been there for 20 years. And it has the population of over 30 people. We have 30,000, 40 villages. We have primaries, 13 of them, but we don't have seed school in that sub-county. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, in 2 years ago, the President came to Zimbabwe district and we asked him to help us improving our health center 4 to referral hospital. And he pledged that they are going to construct that hospital. But now, it's over 2 years, there's nothing. Right Honorable Speaker, same point. You know Zimbabwe? You know Zimbabwe?
That is the maiden speech.
Zimbabwe district is a cattle corridor. We have a problem of valley dams. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to help us as Zimbabwe people to instruct the people of agriculture to help us and give us excavators for digging the valley dams. Thank you so much.
What? Minister of Education about the seed school for Zimbabwe, for Mawogola North.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, government is committed to ensure that each and every sub-county in this country has a secondary school. We are doing it in phases. But of course we are sure we are going to make it. Of course, under different programs, under YouGift, we have just completed the construction of 259 seed secondary schools. Now we have embarked on a new program which will give us 90 seed secondary schools. So Zimbabwe is on our plan, and let us work together with the MP.
Thank you. Honorable Kahima Moses Mugabe, MP Ruhama.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Kahima Moses Mugabe. I represent the people of Ruhama East in Ntungamo district. Right Honorable Speaker, on Sunday, the 23rd of August, 2026, a significant part of my constituency was hit by a hailstorm, and 3 sub-counties of Rukoni West, Chite Town Council, and parts of Nyachera were severely devastated to the extent that 25 villages were left with no food crop. All banana plantations in those 25 villages were destroyed completely to the extent that you cannot find any banana plantation in that area. Even coffee chambers were severely hit. Some animals died, and an alarm was raised to me. I had to travel there the whole of yesterday. I visited the affected areas and I confirmed the situation. And I am happy that my Chief Administrative Officer, Ntungamo District, has already written to the office of the Prime Minister. So my prayer is that the Prime Minister's office should respond urgently to the letter that was written by the CAO, and equally important, dispatch a team that should assess the situation on the ground. And I also want to put my prayer to the Ministry of Agriculture that they should come to our issue and provide us with quick growing planting materials that can avert this situation. Otherwise, in the next 1 week, my people will have nothing to eat. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Right Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker, sorry for our people about that disaster. It is good that the CAO has written the letter through that through the disaster committee. We are going to make a follow-up, and I'll get in touch with the member of parliament so that we reach those people. Thank you.
And the agriculture, they add the also request.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. As you are aware, Ministry of Agriculture, we no longer give out those planting materials. We now shifted to PDM, but we shall work closely with the Office of the Prime Minister, and I also request the Member of Parliament to write to MAIF, Ministry of Agriculture officially, and let us know how many coffee chambers and the banana plantations were destroyed. Then we shall, together with the Office of the Prime Minister, we shall come up with a response. But we shall also send our teams, our regional teams, to come and also help us in the assessment. And whatever we shall come up with in agreement with the Office of the Prime Minister, we shall indeed deliver. Thank you.
Honorable Tivandeke Charles, MP Bale County.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise under Rule 56 to raise an urgent matter of national importance in regards to unlawful treatment of prisoners. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I'm cognizant of Prisons Act 2006, which mandates Prison Commission to make regulations for internal management and administration of the prisons. Cognizant of Prison Regulation 2012, in particular, Section 33, that provides that a convicted criminal prisoner sentenced to imprisonment for a period not exceeding 1 month shall have his hair cut short and his beards wickers, to mention but a few. Cognizant that the hair for female prisoners shall not be cut on admission unless otherwise recommended by a medical officer. Similarly, Right Honorable Speaker, the hair of a prisoner following a religion that prohibits cutting of hair shall not be cut without an order in writing from the officer in charge, made on grounds of necessity satisfied by a medical officer. Right Honorable Speaker, Article 24 of the Constitution provides for respect to humanity dignity, human treatment, protection from torture, cruelty, degradation, among others. And these are non-derogable rights according to Article 44. Right Honorable Speaker, in my prayer, in the interest of time, I need to, the line ministry, to follow up with the prison service to ensure that the provisions of the law and the regulations, especially under Regulation 33 of the prisons regulation that mandates cutting of hair wholesomely to all prisoners, is adhered to in exemptions withstanding the provisions of the Constitution. Right Honorable Speaker, that the Parliamentary Human Rights Committee investigates the extent of the matter and this practice across all prisons and report back to this House in line with on how the rights of prisoners in specific implementation of Regulation 34(5) of the Prisons Regulations 2012 is adhered to without contravening with the rights as mandated in the Constitution. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
So which prayer should we handle? You are asking the minister and then you are asking the committee to do the same thing. Who should do what? We know our mandate, but it should be matter of national importance. Rarely referred to the committee. It is where you want action from government. And the Minister of Internal Affairs is here. So why are you again loading committee? If you feel Minister of Internal Affairs or Attorney General, it's about violation, unlawful, so you can support each other. Yeah. Are you shaving off people's hair?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. This matter, as you have guided, the Attorney General is right here for the rights of way, but as the Ministry of Internal Affairs, we deeply respect the concerns of the Honorable Member and would follow up to ensure that no violation of any law is permitted. But the Attorney General is here. You can answer on behalf of government. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, to add to the answer by the elder, the Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, one, we appreciate the concern. I want you to note that we inherited a number of laws from colonial times, but we have structures within our legal system that help us review these laws occasionally. There is a saying that law is not cast in stone, meaning that at any one time, law is expected to grow dynamically just as the society does. When such things are found to be unbecoming in a particular society, we sit and review them. So I do appreciate, just like the Honourable Minister said. And third, lastly, Right Honourable Speaker, I do not believe that there is a need to investigate this matter. If it has been going on, it has been done under the regulation you have cited. So they were fulfilling the law as it was. That is if they were doing it. But going forward, we'll sit with the Law Reform Commission and consider your concern. If it requires amendment, we will advise accordingly and move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You don't have a right of reply. You are the one who cites so many laws. You cite for me which rule gives you right of reply. Honorable Banya Emmanuel, Natal.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Emmanuel Banya, Member of Parliament, Koboko County. Right Honorable Speaker, it's also my maiden speech to speak when you are in the chair. I want to congratulate you for the office. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise on issues of national importance in regards to natural disasters. In my constituency in Koboko County, Loble Sub-County, 3 parishes, Aliribu, Loble Parish, and Ombachi Parish, experienced a disaster of flooding and hailstones on the 19th of July 2026. 357.25 acres of farmland were destroyed. The crops there mainly were beans, maize, and cassava. 467 households were affected, and 2,335 individuals were affected as a result of this disaster. These parishes happen to be refugee hosting parishes. Now, World Food Program these days does not give food to refugees. They give what they call cash ratios. Now, with the disaster hitting agricultural sector, there's a big problem in terms of food supply. People are dying of malnutrition and hunger. My prayer is that the Office of the Prime Minister immediately supplies food to those families. Fast maturing seeds are provided. And, Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Agriculture gave some regions hand hose. I will also appeal to the Minister of Agriculture that Koboko is considered immediately for hand hose to alleviate this hunger issue which is going on. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Prime Minister. And the last one on that. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member of Parliament, I think this is really very bad. You've delayed because now it was July, we are going to September, which means that you've not done the service that you would have done that time. But all the same, it is really bad. I will request that give us the letter so that our team can go on ground for investigation and then we handle. I thank you.
Honorable Mushabe, Rujok, Ruth, and then I will have Honorable Sevalim. This is Sevamala, Richard.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Mine was, and since you have guided, I shall wait for that time. However, I would request the Minister of Health to tell us about the PEP scan plans as well when he's talking about the ambulances. I thank you.
Thank you. That's quite brief. Honorable Richard
Sevamala.
Sevamala, the presidency.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, just to clarify, I did not contest. I was removed from the ballot paper. Premature. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to refer to your guidance in the speech that you made at the beginning of these sessions, where you requested that instead of coming to this parliament and we do post-mortems in procurements and accountabilities, it is important that if a member detects or comes across any information that might lead to the loss of money or accountability in government, it is, brought here first hand, such that it is handled by the committees or any guidance you will give. Right Honorable Speaker, early this morning I got a communication from a citizen about the construction of the passenger terminal at Kabalega International Airport. Right Honorable Speaker, Civil Aviation Authority requested for bids where it did restricted bidding and got two bidders, Kodrosi and Suma Construction, which bidded $140 million and $120 million respectively. Suma 140, Kodrosi 120. After negotiations, Kodrosi requested to work on the passenger terminal at $285 billion, But also the accounting officer of CAA went ahead to request for additional funding from the Ministry of Finance. However, during the same time, they solicited more bids to see whether they can get somebody that is lower. And these bids, 4 people were contacted, who were SMS Construction, Siani, China Bridge, and Rere, and others. In these, they got Samco that came in with a bid with 452 billion. Way higher than what Kodrosi had negotiated. Right, Honorable Speaker, as we speak today, the procurement process has stalled. Remember, AFCON is next year. There is no proper procurement process that is being followed. Words that are in the corridor are contractors are negotiating and going round to meet different offices. I would request for the indulgence of this Parliament, or specifically the committee, Right Honorable Speaker, because no sooner had
you need the committee to look at that.
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker.
Okay, so it is
the Committee of Infrastructure.
Okay, that you have any interest?
No. I don't have any interest, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister of Works.
Right Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. It's good you have asked a question to the Honorable Member, whether he has interest, but he has declined. But depending on some true and false information is given on paper, it's as if he has interest, and or what I think, according to me, what he wants through Parliament to inform whether his company or friends is successful or no. But I must assure the August House that procurement is going on, and it is in the hands of His Excellency the President, and many people have approached him to take over that contract. He has refused. He needs what we call value for money. As I speak now, we're in the final stages. Come next week, we shall give him the report he needed, and we shall have the contractor to sign the contract too. I don't know. We request Parliament to have trust in the ministry. We have lost a lot of money in these things where come Chogam, AFCON. People pretend we're in the rush hour. We sign exorbitant contracts. By the time they realize it, money is eaten. We are in the charge contract in that place, even with the hand and the help of His Excellency the President. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. No problem. I will protect you. There is nobody living on earth here without interest. But I think in this matter, the interest you have is for the fairness of the process. So don't be offended. There is nobody without interest, including me who is speaking here. I have interest, but you only have to ask which interest. Honorable Query, procedure?
Right Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether we are proceeding well if the same people that are doing the procurement are the same people that are saying that the procurement is moving well. That's why I had requested for your indulgence that maybe the committee could look at the same.
No, I think he has pushed it that the whole chief executive of the Republic of Uganda, who is also called
the executive works through him,
the President of the Republic of Uganda, is highly involved. That one, when it is invoked, let's wait. Let's wait. Honorable Kwerede, you are the last on that matter, and then we can handle other things.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. David Bicha Mokwere, MP Bukedia County. Right Honorable Speaker, I have just returned from Soroti, where we inspected the Soroti Industrial Park. With the initiative of government, a factory was set up
called Pale commodities, with the main key intention of processing or doing value addition to the cereals. This is to say like millet, sorghum, simsim, and all others. But what we learned from the factory is that all the cereals which this factory is purchasing from TESO has got about 80% affected cereals with aflatoxins. This 80% is a red signal that all the people in TESO region are actually consuming aflatoxins. And it's actually the reason I could actually say that it's one of the reasons why we are having a high rate of cancer. No wonder I'm not surprised to report to this August House, like in my constituency in Bukedia. You not be scared that in one day, you'll be informed of about 10 burials in one day, which is a very high number. Right, Honorable Speaker, I pray that this August House and the Line Ministry intervenes to see that we work hard.
Prime Minister or Minister, who is the relevant minister? They are multi-sectoral. Trade and agriculture and health, that is all.
Mr. Speaker, on the side of industry, particularly on standards, we will send, working with Minister of Agriculture, send a team of our technical people next week to do the measure that we are doing the right thing. If it's the problem, then we shall address it. But the Minister of Agriculture can add on.
Thank you, Speaker and the House. I also need to give my colleague information. Last week, TESO parliamentary leaders under the leadership of Her Excellency the Vice President interacted with Ministry of Agriculture, and she had also raised the same issue of aflatoxins. So, want to give you information on this entire House. Government of Uganda through MAIF invested in a very, very big aflatoxin machine, and which is in TESO sub-region, for your information. And that equipment has been idle for ever since the same TESO sub-region members of parliament one time contacted Operation Wealth Creation when Jenangina was still even the deputy chief coordinator in 2018. And that entire equipment was taken to TESO sub-region. And ever since government invested and we availed it according to your requirements, you've not been using it and it has been idle. And right now, UDC, the Uganda Development Corporation, which is an investment, has now taken on the responsibility to privatize it to one of the private companies, maybe, who would now be using it. But I want to call upon leaders. We are all leaders here. Once you request such services from government and government avails them to you, please take use of them, and please go and check with the VP, Her Excellency Jessica Lupo. She knows everything and where all those equipments are. Thank you.
There will be no more need for him to check with the VP. Now he has the information that the machine is there and is in TESO. Maybe the awareness was not there. I was looking for Honorable Jamilewo Jalameso. I thought he was seated somewhere here. I didn't know he was promoted. Yeah.
Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to extend
my highest felt felicitation, plaudits and laudations to you upon the assumption of the office. Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, allow me also thank you for your comical, witty, and light-hearted method of superintending of this House. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to say once again, high felicitation to you. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise under Rule 56, a matter of urgent national importance. I was in my constituency 3-4 days ago. The ministry, government through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fishery has undertaken a compulsory biannual livestock vaccination program against foot and mouth disease, to which, Right Honorable Speaker, I diametrically endorse it. However, my concerns are two. One, the issue of affordability and the issue of equity. Right Honorable Speaker, you are much aware that Aleptong district, a jury where I come from, is far above the national poverty rate of 16.2%. And when you look at the figure being charged, 80,000 shillings per cow or a pig to be paid by a farmer twice a year, and then a goat or a sheep, 4,000 shillings.
Yeah, but you know that that matter was disposed of here by the Minister of Finance, Agriculture. What is your prayer, sir?
Right Honorable Speaker, my prayers are one, let sensitization be broadened. The situation in my constituency is more now of a hula baloo and imbroglio. And therefore, I am not able to quell them. Secondly, let the government come in and fully subsidize this so that the farmers that rely on livestock as a bank account should not be able to be punished twice. I beg to submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
So, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, and the next time you use such heavy words, I will run away from you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues. As Minister of Agriculture, yes, even last time Honorable Lwakojo had also raised the same issue. For purposes of informing my dear colleague, the price is not going to be negotiable because that is, but as far as sensitizing farmers, MAIF is coming up with a program very soon, and we're going to be sensitizing all our dear farmers out there all over Uganda on how and when and where to access the vaccines from and how to use them effectively. I thank you.
Honorable Lord.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have a document to lay, but before I do, allow me to raise two quick issues of concern. One is health related. I've had the Minister of State for Health give us assurance again that Lubowa Hospital is going to be ready. That promise has been made several times, even by his predecessors. We have been looking forward to the launching of Lubowa Specialized Hospital because there's been issues with that. I don't know whether it's a hospital or a construction site. A lot of money pumped there. Parliament has severally tried to access it, to see what's happening, to play our oversight role, denied access. At one time, the then Minister of Health was denied access. So we don't know what's happening with Lubowa Hospital. And maybe, again, through your office, Mr. Speaker, we need to pick interest and know what's happening. So the update is a good one that is going to be ready next year. But we are not going to wait for next year. It would be good that Parliament gets access so that we know the money that's appropriated there, what is it doing? Mr. Speaker, we have something called community health extension workers in this country. The Ministry of Health knows about these people. These are salaried, parish-based, cadre of frontline healthcare workers. They were established under a 2018 Ministry of Health policy to supervise and professionalize the village health team system. They do a lot of work there. They're like the foot soldiers of the Ministry of Health. And these people have reached out to us. A number of them have gone for a very long time without pay. And by the way, they earn a niggardly, I don't even know whether to call it a salary, maybe an allowance, of 150,000 shillings per month. That's what the ministry pays them. Firstly, I think that amount has got to be reviewed, given the times and the work that they do. But then they have been complaining they have not gotten this little niggardly allowance for a very long time. The Ministry of Health has actually acknowledged in their communication as recently as April 2026, they acknowledged unresolved payment backlogs for these community health extension workers. I'm glad the Minister of Health is here. The country needs to be updated. These people need to be updated. They get little money. First of all, we are saying revise it. But number two, why is the little money not coming to them? And yet you expect them to do work down there. Mr. Speaker, the second and final issue is related to perhaps internal affairs. And I'm glad that the professor is here. Right, Honorable Speaker, a few days ago, you did pledge that you're going to create time in the coming days for this House to discuss and debate issues of human rights and for us to have a conversation about those matters. We are looking forward to that, Mr. Speaker, because this country is ripe for an engagement in that regard. The way our elections do happen, our elections are violent, extremely violent. People are killed, many are maimed, others are in jail for donkey's years. These things have got to change. Others abducted, the likes of John Bosco Chibalama, 7 years. John Damulira, Kanata Muhammad, and the plethora of others from elections that are tumultuous. We also need to have a conversation about where does the military start and where does the military end when it comes to our democratic processes. So we are looking forward to that conversation, Mr. Speaker, because our country is hurting and we cannot pretend that all is well. But Mr. Speaker, as we wait for that conversation, there's issues that I have raised on this floor a number of times. Government has yet to respond to them. Good enough, the government chief whip has been capturing these issues. Whenever I do raise them, she writes to the relevant ministries to say this issue was raised, please prepare a response, but it never comes through. Because there's been very recent cases that I've talked about. There's a one, Christopher Godi, also known as King Zare. This man was abducted on 21st April. Up to now, where is he? Why is he not produced in court? Sam Mugumya was taken in August of last year. We saw videos recently of him in bad shape. Where is the man? If he's committed an offense, why not produce him in court? And several others. There's another called Baliza William. That one was taken in February. And I raised those ones here. And there's been commitment to respond, but it has not come through. We wonder why. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I saw some leaders within the NRM talk about a gentleman called Matthew Bagonza. This is a staunch NRM supporter who I know personally, and I respect where he belongs. It's his right. But I also saw he was picked up, and people are asking, where is he? Why is he not produced in court? Now, Matthew Bagonza belongs to the NRM, but as a leader, it's also my responsibility to say, even though he's NRM, he should be accorded due process. Okay. So him and all these others, why are these people not produced in court? We have said severally that it is okay for the state to suspect anyone in this country at whichever level to have committed an offense. But the law says, you see, Article 28(3)(a) provides for the presumption of innocence. So that means you get somebody, take them to a gazetted detention facility, and that is police, within 48 hours, either release them on police bond or take them to court. Why don't we do these things?
I'm afraid
Those are the issues that I have. And Mr. Speaker, why I appreciated you for the debate you're planning to hold. We look forward to it because there's many historical issues. But these are recent matters that I have raised that have been captured. The government chief whip has written to the relevant ministries, but they are not responding. And I think it would be important that they do.
They're going to be caught up by the time.
So as I leave the stage, Mr. Speaker, allow me to lay the opposition response to the Charter of Fiscal Responsibility for financial year 2026-2027 to financial year 2030 to 2031. The Minister of Finance laid theirs. As the opposition, it's not a must for us to lay, but we are duty-bound to we are duty-bound to give a response and to keep the government in check. So our hope is that what we are prepared will be looked into for the good of our country. Herein, we've captured issues of unemployment, our debt burden, corruption, etc., that need to be addressed if we are to hit our economic targets. I do lay on table. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. It is referred to the Committee on Budget, the Budget Committee, to review both of them. Item 5. The Health Minister, you'll appropriately respond when the Prime Minister has availed the opportunity within our time. Yes, item 5.
Item 5, Prime Minister's time.
Right Honourable Prime Minister. You are usually given 20 minutes on that one, but there was another one. You will do many things. Every time here today is nearly yours. But it's also, don't start that way.
Thank you so much, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and members, I request that you allow me to present a statement of the succeeding, on the business of the succeeding week. I move under Rule 29(1) of our Rules of Procedure of Parliament of Uganda as a read of government business, because I'm required to make a statement in this House regarding the business of a succeeding week. I therefore submit the following business for the succeeding week, that is from 1st to 3rd September 2026. Right Honourable Speaker, a statement by the Minister of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities on the commemoration of the National World Tourism Day will be presented. Shall also get a statement from the Minister of Health on the status of the implementation of health component under the Uganda Intergovernmental Fiscal Transfers Program, EU Gift 2. A statement will also be presented by the Minister of Local Government on the progress of the Parish Development Model implementation countrywide and the revised implementation guidelines. That Honourable Speaker, I beg to submit.
But the record capture?
Right Honourable Speaker,
that
members.
Was under item 4. Now
Yes.
you are going to item 5.
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker and members, as you are aware, I am always asked questions both in written and I will also expect other questions.
Procedure, Honourable Tebandeke.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for the generosity. My procedure matter is for our own benefit. It's under Rule 43, particularly Sub-Rule 7 and 8 of our Rules of Procedure. Right Honourable Speaker, I appreciate the Prime Minister's efforts to answer our questions. But some of our questions get lost within the way from my own custody to clerk and the Prime Minister. To avoid that rule, sub-rule 8 of the same clearly states that the clerk shall publish a list of all questions and the response made every month. This one will also benefit our Prime Minister to make assessment of her performance. I don't know whether it is procedurally right by your guidance that the clerk is subdue to this rule. Thank you.
The clerk is directed to comply. Prime Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and members, under the written questions, I got one from Honorable Kumu Gabriel, MP Okoro Gabriel. He says that Jango Koro Seed Secondary School is in Jango Koro, in Okoro, Zombo District, but also serves Asuma and Aka sub-counties and Padea town councils because they don't have seed schools yet. However, students from Aka sub-county have to cross Nyagak River at a point called Nyagak Pa Kiro, and when it floods, students cannot go to school. And his prayer, Right Honorable Speaker, is that government should construct a bridge at this point. His second point and prayer is that government should build seed schools in the above sub-counties that don't have seed schools. The third one is that engineers from the Ministry of Works and Transport visited the site. Can the Right Honorable Prime Minister provide an update to this House on their findings? Right Honorable Speaker and members, my response is that it is government policy to establish public school in every sub-county, and for sub-counties without a public secondary school, government has put in place deliberate interventions. Right Honorable Speaker and members, through the Uganda Intergovernmental Physical Transfer Program for Results, UGIFT, and the Uganda Secondary Schools Expansion Project, USEP, government has established a total of 349 seed secondary schools countrywide and 259 under UGIFT and 90 under USEP. Right Honorable Speaker and members, Zombo District has directly benefited from both interventions, receiving 4 seed secondary schools in total, namely Atiak Seed Secondary School, Kango Seed Secondary School, Paida Seed Secondary School under UGIFT, and Alangi Secondary School under USEP. Following these interventions, our mapping indicates that 4 administrative units in Zombo district still remain without a public school, namely Asuma sub-county, Aka sub-county, Padea sub-county, Padea Town Council, and Zombo Town Council. 3 of these are the very units raised by the Honorable Member. As a way forward, government is currently in advanced negotiations with the World Bank on UGIFT 2, the successor UGIFT 1, which is expected to finance at least 114 additional seed secondary schools across the country. Government will prioritize the outstanding administrative units in Zombo district. The second question came from Baseke Fred. Says that that is Ntenjeru South. That Honorable Speaker and members, he says that government policy is that every sub-county should have a government secondary school. However, in Ntenjeru South County, Kayunga District, Nazigo Town Council, and Kangurumira Sub-County do not have any government secondary school. His prayer is, what is government's plan and timeline for establishing government secondary schools in Nazigo Town Council and Kangurumira Sub-County? My response, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that government remains committed to the policy of expanding and providing equitable access to secondary education by ensuring that every sub-county progressively has access to a government, all government-aided secondary school. This policy has been implemented over the years through the Uganda Intergovernmental Physical Transfer. Right Honorable Speaker and members, I request that the answer I gave in the first question answers him correctly. Question number 3 came from Honorable Naki Julius, MP of Dudley County East. His question 1 is that we thank government for the ongoing construction of Narugugu. I think I remember Narugugu, not Narugaga. Narugugu, Budadiri, and I was there personally. Namagumba Road, however, last week the contractor broke down the main bridge over Silonko River, which Siloko River, which connects Budadiri to other districts without creating a motorable diversion to ensure uninterrupted traffic flow. His prayer is when will the bridge over Silonko River be fixed? And his second question, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that government last month embarked on reconstruction of Naruguga Bridge over Narugaga River that connects Silonko to other districts. However, the construction lasted for less than a week and it has completely stopped despite presence of equipment at the site. And his prayer is, when will the construction resume? Right Honorable Speaker and members, the old river Silonko bridge was not compatible with the new alignment under the ongoing upgrading works. Consequently, a new bridge has been designed and construction has already commenced. The construction is 6 months, effective August 2026. By standard practice, a temporary diversion must be provided during such works. A diversion was accordingly provided at River Silonko about 3 weeks ago. However, due to torrential rains in Ergon, the diversion was washed away 2 weeks ago. To mitigate the impact, the contractor provided an alternative community access road from Budadiri to Mutufu via North Mbale Cathedral, which is currently servicing the community. Right Honorable Speaker and members, reconstruction of the main diversion has since been completed. It is currently serving right traffic at 14 days for the concrete to attain the requisite strength. Roads, heavy goods, vehicles will therefore continue to use the alternative route for the next 14 days. At the moment, there is no interruption to traffic flow. The traffic from Budadiri to Mbale and Kampala is diverted via Buwaras and Erigon UTC to Namagumba. Traffic from Budadiri via Mutufu to Kapchorwa and Karamoja uses the community access road to Narugugu to proceed to its destination. That Honorable Speaker, all these are temporary measures pending opening a new diversion structure and ultimately bridge, which is expected to be completed by the end of March 2027. The first question came from Honorable Kumu Gabriel, MP Okoro County. Right Honorable Speaker, he asked a question that coffee, the most important cash crop in Uganda, and the government has made deliberate efforts to promote its growth even in areas which are not traditional growing areas. However, post-harvest handling and quality control, which determine the price and how competitive a commodity is on the world market, seems not to be on top of the agenda of government. Middlemen adulterate and compromise the quality of coffee without any deterrence. His prayer, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that what strategy does government have to deter unscrupulous middlemen who adulterate the coffee, sell wet coffee, hence compromising quality? My response, Right Honorable Speaker, is that government recognizes that the quality of Uganda's coffee is critical to maintaining its competitiveness and security and securing better prices on the international market. As such, government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, is implementing a number of measures to deter unscrupulous practices among farmers, traders, and processors in order to improve coffee post-harvest handling and quality. The government has strengthened the legal and regulatory framework through the National Coffee Act 2021 as amended in 2025. The Act provides for the regulation of coffee production, handling, processing, trade, including measures against adulteration and practices that compromise quality. It further provides for offenses and penalties against persons who contravene the established quality and handling requirements. Honorable Speaker and members, government is intensifying sensitization and mobilization of farmers on good harvesting and post-harvesting or post-handling practices, including harvesting only ripe cherries, proper drying, and appropriate storage. Farmers are also being encouraged to organize themselves into coffee producer organizations and cooperatives to promote self-regulation and collective marketing. Government is strengthening enforcement and regulation through routine inspections and enforcements to identify and take action against actors involved in adulteration, improper processing, illegal handling, illegal hiring of wet coffee, and other practices that compromise our quality. Many offenders have since been apprehended. Right Honourable Speaker, I call upon honourable members to support these efforts and through our oversight and mobilization functions to sensitize our farmers on the importance of adhering to coffee quality standards. The fifth question came from Honorable Hebwa Wiliba Manyisa, MP Nakaseke County. The member raised a matter of concern on electricity instability in Kinoni, Ngoma, Kinyogoga, in Nakaseke, North County. My response: Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited, UEDCL, has initiated the following corrective interventions: load balancing on the transformer to improve phase loading, upgrading the transformer from 50 kVA to 100 kVA to accommodate the existing and anticipated load. The third one is continued monitoring of the area after intervention to confirm improvement in supply reliability. The intervention is intended to provide sustainable solution to the recurring outages rather than continuing to address the individual transformer failures as they occur. The sixth question came from Honorable Tibandeke Charles, MP Bale County, Kayunga District. The member raised a matter concerning UEDCL delays in availing connection materials in Kayunga District. And his prayer is what measures have been taken to address this matter. That Honorable Speaker and members, this is my response.
Looking for a household cleaner that truly delivers? Meet Apple, the antibacterial cleaning powder for bathrooms and surfaces. Apple is formulated for 3-dimensional cleaning. It's a scouring agent that scrubs off dirt and stains, a germicide that kills 99.9% of household germs, and it works with water to wash everything away, leaving your bathrooms and ceramics hygienic and sparkling clean. Keep up hygiene standards without breaking the budget. Switch to Apple today. Apple is available at supermarkets and convenience stores countrywide.
Omukyalo ono gwe mulaba wano mu maaso gammwe azze wano waleero nga she's the hospital in charge.
Omusajja amaze okulagira omwana we yaba atekinga charge weekandaza ofulumye meeting.
Teti bino biki? Receipts are missing. Wafuna ki omulimu? Naye nga nyagambye nti nze nina empapula Pamela. Twateesa tutya?
Nkwane Vicky mukonvinsinge tugende ebweru.
Muli bweru.
Gwe tonteeka ku pressure. Eddagala lyo ngenda kulikuwa. Tusooka kubba mu kibinja.
Genda leeta eddagala togenda ddire. Ogenda mala ennaku ennungi ezi ssatu nga tokomba ku kibayita mmere. Kawabe wano ku mulimu, kawabe waka.
Wajja wano kubeera ku internet all the time.
Naye kibala! Hey!
Government plan a special dedicated intentional affirmative agricultural project of wealth creation specifically for West Nile region. That Honorable Speaker and members, below is my response. That government has continued to support West Nile region with many affirmative intervention programs that are aimed at increasing household incomes. The affirmative action programs include the Parish Development Model, Emyoga, Skills Development, micro projects, and many others. Specifically, government has approved NUSAV 4 project, which will expand its livelihood improvement intervention to the communities of the West Nile sub-region. Right Honorable Speaker, government through the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries has also planned and commenced the supply of coffee seedlings to northern Uganda, which includes West Nile. This coffee program, together with many other government interventions, will, in the long run, reduce the poverty and ensure that the region moves forward in terms of income status. The eighth question came from Mariam, District Woman Representative Viganga. He says that while urban centers are growing, many rural sub-counties and distant projects across Iganga district still lack access to the national electricity grid, which impedes industrial growth. Her prayer is that can I, as a Prime Minister and government, outline our current operation plan under the rural electrification program to extend the grid power to underserved parishes of Iganga district during this financial year. Below is my response. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, with funding from Exim Bank of China, Government of Uganda, the African Development Bank, and the World Bank, has installed 62 kilometers of medium voltage lines and 168 kilometers of low voltage lines, along with 47 distribution transformers, electrifying various areas of Mulaga, Bugongo, Buzaya, Bubogo, Nawanyingi, Town Council, Buongo village, and other surrounding villages. Right Honorable Speaker and members, the government of Uganda, under the wise leadership of His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is currently implementing 29 kilometers of medium voltage line and 64 kilometers of low voltage lines with 20 distribution transformers, electrifying villages of Nabitende 1, Naibiri sub-county, Kazigo, Namavundu, Isegero, Buweito, Bulagala, Nalende, Usegera, and many others. That Honorable Speaker, in addition, government, with funding from World Bank through the Electricity Access Scale-Up Project and the grid expansion to support Parish Development Model Project, plans to install 60 kilometers of medium voltage lines and 24 kilometers of low voltage lines. And this project will include the installation of 57 distribution transformers to electrify areas like Namunsara Parish, Namukanaga Parish, and all other surrounding villages. The ninth question, Right Honorable Speaker and members, came from Honorable Chiwanuka Sulaiman, MP Nachifuma County. The member raised a matter concerning the electricity crisis in Nakifuma County, Mukono District. My response, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, is that the rural electrification program funded by Government of Uganda has already electrified several areas in Nakifuma, including Kakinzi, Makukuba, Namoya, Busabala, Nabalanga Health Center 3, Kabawala, Mangayanga, Kawongo, and various parts of Kasau Town Council, Seta, Namuganga, and Namanoga. Honorable members, I am happy to announce that in this financial year, 2026-2027, the NRM government will commence the electrification of additional areas within Nakifuma County. And these will include Wuziranduru Village, Mugonga Village, Narulabye Transformer Injection, Buwali and Ibudu in Nachiwate Village. In addition, with funding from World Bank and the Government of Uganda through the Electricity Access Scale-Up Project and grid expansion to support parish development model, we are embarking on an extensive electrification program. And this program will target numerous areas in Nakifuma County. The 10th question and the last question came from Honorable Kumu Gabriel, MP Okoro County. Right Honorable Speaker and members, he says that there are administrative units that were gazetted before the 2021 general elections but have not been coded to date. This means that they are not receiving grants from government, specifically in Zombo, Padea, and where trading centers are not coded. And his prayer, when are these trading centers going to be coded? My response, Right Honorable Speaker and members, is that Padea Town Council is fully coded in the integrated financial management system. For financial year 2026-2027, it has received a non-wage recurrent amount of 37,397,000. I beg to submit.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister. Procedure by Park Central, Cassandra.
Right Honorable Speaker, allow me to thank the Prime Minister for always laboring to come here to answer questions of the members. Right Honorable Speaker, in Rule 185, functions of government assurances and implementation committee. 1A, that this committee is supposed to record and scrutinize the assurances, promises, and undertakings given by a minister, the Prime Minister, the Vice President, or the President in the House from time to time. Right Honorable Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker.
Why did you stop?
Right Honourable Speaker, I waited until that wonderful
it's not
conversation
in our rules.
Would.
Yeah.
Right Honourable Speaker, I'm sorry that I stopped because I really needed your attention.
You are raising.
This is a procedural matter.
It is procedural matter, but you have to be very specific on rules. 185. Did you say 185?
185, Right Honourable Speaker.
Government assurance and implementation. Yes.
I'm reading 1A,
So raise
Right Honourable Speaker.
So raise the procedural matter.
Right Honourable Speaker, the Prime Minister has always been kind, that whatever is asked, she promises. Even without a known budget, every member that comes before us here says there is this and this in my constituency, the Prime Minister goes on to promise and commit. Right Honourable Speaker, my concern is does our Government Assurances Committee follow up on these promises as assured to us here? Because, Right Honourable Speaker, the Prime Minister should not come here and give us promises where there is no budget line. They should give us on issues where there are budget lines. I would like to know whether, Right Honourable Speaker, whether this Committee of Government Assurances pick interest in these promises made on the floor of Parliament every other Thursday and see whether they were, Right Honourable Speaker, members are assured properly, Right Honourable Speaker.
Really, I don't know. Look, you need to put your people into order. Because now those are internal matters. I would be glad to hear the Honourable Member, Honourable Zake, who shares the government assurances, coming here to give a report that, Right Honourable Prime Minister, on such a date you said this minister said this. Why have you? So for you now, the Prime Minister is giving you more work. You are saying you stop there.
Right Honourable, I think where it's coming from is historically, there's been numerous promises that are made and there gets to be a backlog. I think that's where he's coming from. However, for us, we'll keep capturing, and the Committee on Government Assurance is led by the Honourable Francis Zake and the Honourable Anna Adeke. They're compiling more. So they'll come here and say there's this heap, where do you start from? So it is well.
I would be glad to give them a space in the order paper. But honestly, bringing it now is... Sorry? Yeah. When I see Honourable Sewungu, we got here together.
Mr. Speaker, sir, against all fairness, I was Vice Chairman, Government Assurances Committee. And under the rules, Mr. Speaker, sir, to the Prime Minister, I'm on your support, by the way. Against all fairness, once the Prime Minister is answering questions raised by members, our rules provide the Speaker to allow those members to give any additional question to what he has responded to. But once it comes to government assurances, as by the rules are stated, it's about confirming, and the committee goes, keeps its records, and follows up to come back and meet the Prime Minister, all ministries to give answers. I think that's what we should develop, and I am in agreement with the what. But with what the Prime Minister is responding to here, if I had raised my matter, Mr. Speaker, I would have stood up after her speaking and said, Madam Prime Minister, your answer is good, but it's lacking A, B, C, D, and then the House moves on. But with nobody answering and giving additional,
thank you.
She sits comfortably.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And when we are doing Prime Minister's time, the guidance I want to give, look at the rule on Prime Minister's time. When the Government Assurance Committee is bringing anything, we go to the government assurances. And, but I know that you are a very popular Prime Minister. Honorable, I think that when the Prime Minister was coming in, the leader of opposition was holding the floor, and he had raised two matters that I said could be answered during the time for the Prime Minister about the promise to have the debate on human rights and then the health. If the Prime Minister permits, yeah, so those two ministers were here. If you could give them permission, yes. Professor, we talked, you had the Honorable Joel Senyonyi, the leader of opposition, was opposing the way you are handling people, issues of human rights. And we made a commitment that we shall find time to debate them. You want to say something about that?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Prime Minister. You have guided quite well. The leader of opposition raised the issues on human rights, and I want to assure him that as an executive arm of the state, we are the protectors of these rights and would do exactly what he has asked for, to have a holistic committee meeting to look at the whole picture of human rights protection in our country. And the Prime Minister, I'm sure he would do exactly what the leader of opposition has asked for. Thank you.
Health. You are doing that on Prime Minister's time, responding to Honorable Senyonyi. Lubowa, when are we commissioning?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
And accessibility. And extension workers.
Honorable Joel Sonia raised two issues, and the first one was about the non-payment of community health workers. Yes, it is true. Even the ones in Koboko have not been paid, Right Honorable Speaker. And he gave a preamble to the importance of community health extension workers. As government, we are aware, and it was put in this year's budget. So once the money is released, we shall be able to pay the arrears. And I think we have managed to communicate that through the respective district health officers. On the issue of Lubowa, I think let us be very optimistic. Let us have hope. And Right Honorable, at least now you can see the superstructures of Lubowa beyond the hoarding. It is normal procedure that when you're constructing, you cover the construction site for the purposes of health and safety. And committees of parliament are free, Right Honorable Speaker, to access Lubowa Hospital. I think they are at liberty to write to the proprietor and access the hospital. So I would like to give the LOP reassurances that going forward.
State Minister for Health giving an update on Lubowa International Specialized Hospital, which hospital has had several challenges. And he says currently the Parliament can be able to write and get to have an access to the premises where the construction is currently ongoing. This is NBS News Updates, and we do start just about now. NBS Television, you're watching the news updates. My name is Shamim Nabakoza. We start the news with Uganda declaring an outbreak of its Ebola outbreak and saying it is done that virus is no longer in the country, the Ministry of Health says screening and monitoring of travelers will still go on from the Democratic Republic of Congo and will continue to prevent the imported infections. The ministry has also received Ebola testing kits, protective equipment and infection prevention supplies worth 144.7 million shillings from AHF Uganda Cares to strengthen preparedness against future outbreaks.
As we are all aware, Uganda is Ebola free, but we continue to do surveillance and partners are continuing to support us in this surveillance such that we keeping Uganda free. So today we have received a donation of reagents to support surveillance for the different viral hemorrhagic fevers, including Ebola, Marburg, CCHF, RVF, such that we keep Ebola free. It's very timely because even after announcing that we're Ebola free, we have to keep checking ourselves if we don't have any crossover of infections from our neighbor DRC, as we are aware of the burden of Ebola in DRC. So we are going to use them to continue our surveillance, and we are glad that we have received this donation. We continue to do cross-border surveillance at the border between Uganda and DRC, and we urge the people to really be vigilant, look out for any people with signs and symptoms of Ebola that we have put out as Ministry of Health. The donation is worth 144 million shillings. And we are hoping that these reagents and these test kits can be able to support the ministry in terms of testing people along the border with DRC and screening to make sure that we
TESO leaders to overcome political, religious and personal differences and unite to drive the region's socio-economic transformation. Speaking at the TESO Leadership Summit, Alupo called for unity, transformation and greater focus on agriculture, education, job creation, food security, climate resilience and private sector development. She said the region's peace should provide a foundation for development and collective prosperity.
When I was giving his family, please, let's use our talent for the betterment of others. Yes. Let's use our positions for the betterment of others. United and accountable leadership provide a useful framework for this cooperation. And I support all the 5 priorities. We must all play the advocacy role for these 5 priorities wherever we are, so that we attract support from investors, we attract support from government, we attract support from the civil society to Terereka to lead these 5 priorities. We must embrace high-value crops and value addition, expand irrigation facilities, construct and maintain valley dams, protect wetlands and catchment areas, and we must push for our young people to receive quality education and practical skills that enable them to create wealth and employment. We must support the private sector to become a major engine of employment and economic transformation, and we must make it easy for farmers, young people, women and entrepreneurs to access affordable finance.
And I was challenging the leaders who offered quality leadership in order to cause change in the region. I challenged them to be intentional and purposeful about implementing the 5 priority areas: education, agriculture, infrastructure, environment issues, and things to do with climate change.
Key theme for this summit is garnering united leadership for the socio-economic transformation of TESO.
The Uganda Women Entrepreneurs Association Limited, UWIL, has broken ground on the logistics hub in Namamve and launched UWIL Investment Company. The 2 initiatives mark a shift from training and advocacy toward asset ownership, commercial investment, and long-term wealth creation. UWIL says the move aims to help women entrepreneurs transition from small businesses to major asset owners and nationwide investors.
1, 2, 3. This is the launch, this is the groundbreaking of the logistics center.
Women must not only be trained to run businesses, they must increasingly own assets on which businesses are built. Women must not only seek investors, they must increasingly become investors themselves. That is why I commend UWIL for establishing the UWIL Investment Company. The concept is simple but powerful. Women investing for fellow women while earning a return on their investment.
The Namabe Logistics Hub is being championed by UWIL in order to create an environment where we provide an opportunity for the women in business to invest in their own. The Logistics Hub is meant to support businesses that empower other women. The initial dream for this site was an incubation center, but at that time we were looking at the financing to come in through grants, through loans. But in our new era, where we are looking at progressing women, not just from being in business, but into being the investors, we have now set up a vehicle, the UWIL Investment Company, where the women are investing for themselves. In this way, we ensure that whatever we are doing, although the primary objective is to support women entrepreneurs, ultimately it has to be a sustainable, viable enterprise.
And now in more stories, African health professionals and researchers are calling for greater investment in homegrown medical research and innovation to address the continent's recurring health challenges. Speaking at the 9th Afri Health Conference in Munyonyo, experts highlighted gaps in locally developed biomedical solutions. Government says it is committed to supporting research while urging universities and scientists to develop innovations that directly improve healthcare outcomes in Uganda.
Took a case, an example, if we look at Ebola, we have had recurrent Ebola outbreaks on the African continent. But how many solutions in terms of biomedical innovations have come out of Africa? Currently, the ongoing Ebola outbreak, Ebola Bundibujo in DRC, there are clinical trials ongoing. Only a small percentage of clinical trials are conducted in Africa and only in specific countries. So the question is, why are we still lagging behind in terms of biomedical innovations? Why are we not solving our local problems? We need local solutions for local problems. For example, we should see African-made vaccines being tried in this outbreak, but they're not there.
And Afri Health is an organization that brings together any university or academic institution which is involved in health can become a member across Africa. So we have member institutions across Africa, from western coast to east, from north to south.
The government of Uganda remains committed to creating an enabling environment that nurtures research and innovation, whether through policy, strategic investment, or the ongoing strengthening of our tertiary institutions. I promise on behalf of the President and government that Professor Nelson Sewankambu will be awarded.
Uganda is currently strengthening Ebola preparedness along the major movement corridors from Democratic Republic of Congo to prevent possible re-importation of this virus. Health Ministry Permanent Secretary Dr. Diana Atwine says cross-border movement cannot be stopped because of trade. He says the humanitarian and security activities must continue and that the Ministry of Health has received a specialized mobile laboratory that can be able to be deployed rapidly to test for Ebola and other high-risk diseases.
Thousands of people have been infected and thousands have lost their lives. And therefore, I am calling upon Ugandans that vigilance continue. Right from the time we declared Uganda Ebola free, we have maintained our vigilance. Even the 42 day requirement. We have maintained the vigilance. Even after 42 days, we'll maintain the vigilance, especially at the border from Koboko to Chisoro. We are maintaining vigilance, surveillance. We are calling upon the districts in the border not to relax. We are continuously reminding our teams in the border districts to maintain mortality surveillance.
Strong laboratory systems are at the heart of effective disease surveillance and outbreak response. Timely and accurate diagnosis enables the early detection of disease outbreaks. It guides evidence-based public health interventions and ultimately saves lives.
And now, East Africa's youth are being urged to take a more active role in advancing regional integration and the vision of East Africa Federation. The call comes from the Gen Z for Gen 7, which has launched the Uhuru na Umoja campaign to mobilize support and young people around unity, economic opportunities and Pan-Africanism. The campaign will feature activities ahead of President Yoweri Museveni's 82nd birthday celebrations.
For us, this is more than a celebration. It is an opportunity for a new generation to celebrate, study, and emulate his Pan-African vision and actively advance the initiatives that he has given us and the initiative that he has laid down for our future. Therefore, as we celebrate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we are also committing ourselves to advance the first track of the East African integration agenda and ultimate the goal of an East African Federation. We want East African youth to move from being observers of the integration to becoming active participants in building it. On that day, His Excellency is also going to launch something that we have called Uhuru na Umoja. It is in this spirit that we shall officially launch Uhuru na Umoja, a Gen Z initiative aimed at increasing awareness, mobilization, and youth participation towards the East African integration and the East African Federation. We will engage young people across the region and encourage them to understand that integration is not only about governments, it is about their future, their opportunities, and their prosperity.
We want to celebrate his legacy because he has already established it. It is not going away. We all know where he found Uganda in 1986 and the efforts that he had put to transform it even before when he was still a vacist in senior 6, when he went back to his village to organize his people to stop nomadic pastoralism.
News making headlines on the international scene. Rescue teams in Nepal are racing to find hundreds of people missing after a catastrophic flash flood along the Nepal-Tibet border. The disaster, triggered by the collapse of Himalayan glacier and the resulting debris flow, swept through the communities with a torrent of waters, mud and rock, destroying homes, roads and bridges. Nepalese authorities say 177 bodies have been recovered, while more than 800 people remain unaccounted for across the border in Tibet. Another 558 people are reported missing, although it is unclear whether the figures overlap. Foreign nationals, including tourists and pilgrims from several countries, are among those missing. Rescue operations involving the military and emergency teams are being hampered by difficult terrain, damaged infrastructure and ongoing rain, while authorities warn that the debris blocking rivers could trigger further flooding. That brings us to the close of the news updates this evening. My name is Shamim Nawakoza, who has been bringing you up to speed with the news. You can be able to get to follow the news again at 7 p.m. That will be NBS Amasengeji and NBS Live at 9 for you to get updated on the critical stories making headlines in the course of the day. But as all goes on next radio, you can be able to transit as you get to your way away from the workplaces. You can be able to get to enjoy what the conversations are and also get to see the kind of music playing right there. You can also be able to follow as it does continue the plenary session happening today. It is Prime Minister's time, where members of Parliament ask different questions and the Prime Minister gets to make responses official from government. You can be able to catch those on NBS Live. That you can be able to watch it MTN TV by Afro Mobile. Download that app and get to watch all those proceedings as they do get underway here on NBS Television. NBS After 5 comes in shortly. Good evening.
Always. This program is rated PG. Parental guidance is advised. After 5, brought to you by...
Save yourself from unwanted surprises. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Ngera kumachane nerekereza ng'omutima omugazi era nze ne ngubikulaye abanjagaliza ne bansibula mukama ne musaba nnyo oluno oluleme kunsalaye ne bwe biba byakalubi ne wange gye nkolera njiyayiya nnyo nsobola okubaabo. I'm not stopping this thing till I lose my breath. I'm gonna give gasoline every night and day. 1 + 1 = 2. Nja kugatta mpola mpola every day. Yeah, kalemera melako, ay nyo, apanga shaba winner. Never lose, always a winner. Winner, hearts of a winner. Yeah, kalemera melako, ay nyo, apanga shaba winner. Never lose, always a winner. Winner, ola bisawe wete yo, wasimbi 7 day nemya kajigenze. Alright, abana baweze mikwano jesenze nenganda zigenze. Now yeah, Nikita Toba, you want to be a winner, Toba winner. Mukama musabe, yakayatariba, itatimanye. Alright. Winner tapa white, abireka, apanga nai anaita. Whoa. What you believe is what you achieve. Because you want to go. Toba winner. Yeah, kalemere melako, ay nyo, apanga shaba winner. Never lose, always a winner. Winner, hearts of a winner. Yeah, kalemere melako, ay nyo, apanga shaba winner. Never lose, always a winner. Winner, bera nesubi bera kwena manyi mukama likuyamba kano nkuwa kabadi bakubigamba tawuliriza kino kyalali kati nkugamba mazima luno sirwali. Say you have a blessing, wasige mukama yeka yasinga byonna. Never give up on something, oyo yeka mala byonna. Sebiso mubuli kyokola towuliriza pokopoko nze nkulabula lunaku manye ebirungi bijja kyolina okola gwekuba katoseri.
Not tabled regulations.
That yesterday?
I raised and the Chief Whip committed that the Prime Minister will give an answer. So I was giving facts so that she can answer. But my prayers, briefly, are one, to ask the line minister through the Prime Minister to table the regulations, but also clear the irregularity and the illegality of the commissioner taking on the roles of the board because there is no board, and also to pray that the lift on the suspension is implemented so that these civil society organizations and NGOs can operate. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker, this matter was raised by Honourable Luce Akelo, the district women's representative for Amuru some time back. And we have prepared a detailed response, including the making of regulations he's referring to. If you permit me, I can give full report right now.
You're on a borrowed time. We shall schedule.
Thank you.
For you to give the report, but with the regulations, right? The other time we had it was 1 week to it. Thank you. Honorable Sewungu, also have to pick those who have not spoken. Please. Please, if you spoke yesterday, you speak today, they might think it's only your club.
It's mine. Mr. Speaker, sir.
Yes.
My question goes to the Prime Minister.
Sewungu, you spoke quickly, my friend.
Masaka Road is now 5 years closed around in PG, and the purpose of the closure was necessary because there's a project we are working on. But since the installment of the project, maybe with some conditions we don't know, still the road is closed and it has turned into a parking of dilapidated vehicles and traffic arrested vehicles. I don't know why that road cannot be opened for the time as the project is not going on, so that people can access that road freely, because the part closed is also getting damaged. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Right Honourable, as asked the Prime Minister of Works.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The Prime Minister giving us to respond. Right Honourable Speaker, it is impossible to open that stretch now, because as I speak now, we still had some little money on the project, and the contractor is proceeding to do some works there, and they are feasible. If he wants to prove he takes the same road, he can check there. We request probably our target is by early December. If he finishes those excavations, we can open it temporarily for people to use it during Christmas, as we sort out the other bigger issues to complete the Busega Big Expressway. Thank you.
Honorable Mulyanyama.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, my question is about the high cost of vacation skills registration fee. To give you a brief background, in 2021, the government introduced a unique program about vacation and technical skills. And I had a study at St. Denis Sebugwao, the school, you know it, in my constituency. 120 students learned about this program, but only 60 managed to start examination because of the high fee, which is 80,000. Suppose, Right Honourable Speaker, in urban area like Kampala, especially the unique area much in the east, can't afford the parents 80,000. What about the rural areas? It's my humble prayer. The government, always the president say, executive order. Let's make an executive order. All students for vacation skills, from white-collar job to blue-collar job. It will help our kids, children, from secondary school, while we are already equipped with the skills like saloon, welding, ABCD. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
He offered the policy enrichment, Minister of Education. You acknowledge if you have better. But the school you mentioned, yes, due to some unavoidable circumstances, I had to go through St. Denis Sebugwao. in Gava. So your speaker is an old boy of Gava, SS. So he's now blackmailing me in the Honorable Gwang.
Right Honourable Speaker, I want to first get time and interest myself and the ministry in the question the Honourable colleague has mentioned, and I would like to invite Honourable Mulyanyama to come to the ministry so that we...
Yes, Mulyanyama.
I know him because he was a former mayor of Machinde, and during the time of food distribution, I worked closely with him. So I congratulate you for coming to this August South. So Honorable, I welcome you to the ministry so that we could begin to discuss some of these ideas, and we see how we could be able to come back together in this August House. But as you all know, true, we're implementing the TVET in line with the TVET Act, which this August House approved.
He was talking about the cost.
Yes, I'm aware of the cost. That's why his interest is on the registration. It is also true, Right Honourable Speaker, if you permit, I can bring a statement here in line with the costs related which we charge in some of these technical vocational institute. I thank you so much.
Macho, as independent. And then...
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. To the Prime Minister, Right Honourable Prime Minister, when you are being approved here, I spoke in your favour. When I met the President during the NRM caucus meeting, I asked the President about the land of the Jonam. And His Excellency the President said you were going to come to the Jonam people and see their land. I have written to you about the Jonam land. I just wanted to ask you, just for the record and in the eyes of the whole country, when are you coming to Jonam for the issue of our land? Thank you very much.
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I commit to go to his area. I also want to admit that I got your communication. I will come back to Pakwach and we handle this together.
Okay, please, let's go to another thing. There is a pending work that we left the other day, which we are only going to process. Sorry, my commissioner, our commissioner. I've seen those who have not spoken. We are going to offer you an opportunity. We left here that we are going to process today the recommendations, I think about 13 or 14 of them. And I wonder whether the chairperson is ready and government side is ready. It was about looking at recommendation 1, termination, yes, the road toll. And we need to dedicate a few minutes to do that. Processing, not new debate. We concluded debate. So we needed people to propose. I had asked the Attorney General that we want to, where money is involved and interest, we need to do it right. And it is the interest of this House that we process it. The report was very popular with the members. So who goes first? Is it? Oh, okay. Now you side the government. I don't know whom you are going to ask to talk. Respond briefly, and then Attorney General gives opinion, and then chairperson comes, and I put the question on each clause.
Right Honourable Speaker, as you guided last week, and also as I requested, I needed to go sit down as the Minister of Access and Transport to distribute the document, internalize it. I come back to the House, I read the document, and earlier had indicated the Minister of Access participated in this report, and we are happy that the committee which supervises us has come with a very good report. And some of the things in there, they are true, but some of them are not true. And this report, according to us, we sat as government, and even us would be very happy to ensure there is value for money. And most of the things which are raised by members of parliament here, these are our usual roles. That now can you terminate the contract and take over these collections? If this parliament guided even today, tomorrow we can even take over immediately. For us, we have no any problem. And even the report also was showing as if the Ministry of Works and Transport we are sleeping. No, because even the president had looked at the problems on that road, and we had already started a procurement. One, to get someone to procure for us a system which can manage for us what we call a cashless system there, so that when each day you don't touch anyone's money. But now the next stage could have been, okay, we have got this system, someone has developed it, which we are doing to procure a contractor competitively to develop for us this system. The next step could have been who manages it, and now those are the things we have sat down. Most of the recommendations were in the hands of the Attorney General, and we still also insist to prove that most of those things which we are saying as our side as a ministry, they are wrong. If this parliament sees it wise and maybe important and out of guidance, we might have a forensic audit, because as I saw they were choosing Dr. General, but for us we remain committed to ensure there is value for money. If there is one who is got caught at the sea for there is corruption, we support them carry their cross. But I couldn't own a report at that time when I've not seen the content. Yes, I was in that very ministry, but I was in the docket of transport, and the way the ministry is put, that one it was under the works department, and there was no cause of alarm that why you couldn't know what is taking place, because there are many things supervised. But I remain committed for the mistakes which are committed in there. If the way Parliament will guide, we proceed in that way. So the Attorney General, since you are the law of government and you consulted us under the leadership of the Prime Minister and the Government Chief Whip, he can come further to tell the House on the way he thinks, depending on what you presented to him. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, let's listen to the proposals, your submission on the recommendations. Actually, go to your recommendation 1. People, can we get it cast out, projected?
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, just like my honourable colleague has said, the Minister of Works, I want to start by saying there are some conclusions that were made by the committee out of the fact that there was some kind of breakdown in communication. The chair of the committee wrote to us as Attorney General's chambers making some inquiries. Unfortunately, we did not receive that letter on time. We installed a system and things go to the registry, so the letter did not arrive on time. And like I will explain along the way, the committee arrived at certain conclusions and missed out the information that they were requesting from us. That, among others, I will explain. Right Honourable Speaker and honourable members, in the 21st, the report is quite big, I request for time. In the 21st sitting of the first meeting... I
don't know whether you want to make it big like this. I think you've given a very powerful background that there was a breakdown on your communication.
Yes, Right Honourable Speaker.
And then the committee could have reached a different conclusion if they...
If we had a...
Yeah, so I expect you to go to the real issues, because we are handling the refer members to the report.
Okay.
You've written very well, I think one of your best responses in this year.
Much obliged.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. So maybe let me just go to the recommendation. For example, one of the conclusions the committee made is that the extension of the contract was not approved by the Office of the Prime Minister. Sorry, by the Office of the Attorney General. I have attached a letter to this document, a letter signed by the Solicitor General approving the extension. And like I said, if we had responded to the committee chairperson's letter, all that would have been avoided. Now, allow me go straight to the recommendations, because we respond to them one by one. Recommendation 1. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport terminates the contract with immediate effect pursuant to clause 59.22 CD of the General Conditions Contract on the basis that the operator breached the contract, having neglected or failed to perform obligations under the contract. Now, Right Honourable Speaker, if I may take you back to the last paragraph of page 1. The last paragraph says, it is worth noting that the contract was therefore not simply a contract to collect tolls. It covered a broader operation, management and maintenance of the expressway, including provision of improvement works for road safety facilities for 6 months, expressway lighting for 6 months, tolling system for 3 months, independent traffic monitoring system for 3 months, and overload control system for 3 months. So it is on the basis of that the committee feels that this was not put in place, so there was a breach, and that the ministry should terminate. Our response, Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, I note from the report that the stated breach of contract relates to failure by Aegis, that is the company, to install independent traffic monitoring systems and automatic vehicle classifier. In addition, the lighting of the carriageway was not properly done, and the road reserve fencing was also not completed, has also not been completed. It is worth noting that whereas the failure by the company to execute the above works within the contractual timeframes constitutes a breach of contract, the contract addresses delays under clause 39.3, I beg your attention on this, addresses delays under clause 39.3, which provides that where the contractor has failed to execute improvement works within a stipulated time frame, liquidated damages apply at the rate of 0.05 per calendar day of delay, up to a maximum of 10% for the improvement works for which completion is delayed. Further, clause 59.22c requires that when the total amount of payment reductions and liquidated damages applied under the contract reaches 15% of the total contract amount, the contract is deemed to have met the condition of persistent failure. The catchword is persistent failure. Persistent failure would therefore entitle the Ministry of Works to terminate the contract. Meaning that whereas the committee proposes that the Ministry of Works should terminate the contract, the Ministry of Works is supposed to assess based on the two clauses and see if the contractor has met persistent failure, which is the catchword, before we terminate. And I want to emphasize this because in 2018, those who were here, you remember we had a contract of SGS for motor vehicle inspection. A report of the committee came here, the matter went for terminated on recommendation of Parliament. But they later took us to arbitration and we lost a lot of money. Here, I urge you to look at the clauses as stated and we move systematically. Honorable members, as rightly stated by the committee, clause 59(2)(c) provides for termination of the contract only if the contractor persistently fails to execute the contract as stipulated. In this case, the Ministry of Works and Transport is required to give the contractor a notice stating the breach and requiring the contractor to remedy the same within 14 days of receipt of the notice. If the contractor fails to correct then the employer, that is the ministry, has a right to terminate the contract. I hope we are clear on that. So our opinion is, honorable members, it is therefore my opinion that the contract can only be terminated in the event of persistent failure and where the contractor has been given 14 days notice to remedy the same before termination. I want to go to the second recommendation.
We want to do it concurrently.
Yes.
So in your view, what is your conclusion there?
Okay.
Because I want to ask the chairperson to come and respond to that, and I put a question on that clause, and we go.
Okay, then let me finish because I had skipped something. I had skipped a paragraph.
Please do finish.
Therefore, the Ministry of Works and Transport needs to undertake a comprehensive review of the project to determine whether there was persistent breach of contract in relation to the scope of the contract prior to undertaking the necessary steps to terminate the contract. It is worth noting that termination of the contract that does not comply with the procedure highlighted above will entitle the contractor to redress through international arbitration at the International Chamber of Commerce in South Africa, which is provided for in clause 6(2)(3) of the contract, with the costs. On that, I beg to submit.
Chair.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members. Firstly, I want to dispute the Attorney General's claim that they had sought advice, and this letter he has referred to was authorization for novation. Novation is different from extension. So extension, this is a totally new contract with a different sum. Novation, they were changing from Aegis to Pinnacle. So they sought authorization for the novation 2 months before the contract expired. What we were requesting for is authorization for the extension. However, for clause 1, for recommendation 1, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, the committee is alive to the termination clause. And we even stated it in that recommendation because we knew that this termination required a certain procedure. And this is why we included clause 59.2.2c and d, which provides for the 14 days notice. So what we are telling you is do it within the law, within the prescribed clause for termination. We have looked at their performance. It's talking about the ministry should first ascertain persistent breach. Someone who has not installed an independent traffic monitoring system, which was provided for in the clause and provided to be installed in the first 3 months. And this is now almost 6 years down the road. We cannot audit this person because they have not installed this system. They did not install a weigh in motion scale, which we should have used to audit. Up to now, we don't have a weigh in motion scale. They have not given us source codes to audit them. What more persistent breach do we need? The Auditor General yesterday submitted documents to us claiming that he could not do a revenue audit because they are up to date, because there is no independent traffic monitoring system. And this was provided for in the contract, and it should have been installed 3 months into the contract. We are now 6 years down the road. I beg to submit.
Right Honourable Speaker. May I make a clarification?
Rejoinder.
A rejoinder, indeed. You see, colleagues, the initial contract was signed with a French company called Aegis, okay, for 60 months, which is 5 years. And the contract states that if the performance is satisfactory, it can be extended. You understand? Now, when Aegis existed, they brought on board, what's the name of the company? Pinnacle. Now the issue was innovation. Innovation meant that Pinnacle was taking over the responsibilities of Aegis and carrying forward the same contract. What was given to Pinnacle was envisaged in the original contract, because the contract says it can be extended by 24 months. In this case, they consulted the Attorney General on whether to do innovation to allow Pinnacle come on board. Once we approved that, there was no need requiring the Ministry of Works to seek leave to extend, because the extension was already in the contract. What was required of Ministry of Works was to satisfy itself on the performance. Because the clause in the contract said, if the performance is satisfactory, it can be extended. And the extension that was given is for, not for 24 months, but for 12 months, 1 year, starting in May. So, I want us to be able to tell the difference. Why there was no need for us to approve the extension, because it was already provided for in the contract. What we approved was innovation, because that is a requirement of law. I beg to submit.
Thank you. At one point, the chair, you said the Attorney General's opinion was not sought. So what do you say about that? Did you seek their opinion?
Yes, we sought their opinion, and they clearly told us they did not get authorization. You see, a different contract sum. That's a different contract.
Attorney General, usually they speak in writing.
They refuse to write. They are here. They refuse to write to us. We have been in touch with them. And we wrote to them twice. But you see, right, honorable and honorable members, this is a different contract sum. And even if you talk about satisfactory performance, someone has not installed systems for us to audit them. We have a UNRWA forensic audit, We have a URA audit. We have their own Ministry of Works audit, proving, not even only the committee, proving that these people have revenue leakages. How can you say this is satisfactory performance?
Can I put a question? Okay.
Permit me to clarify, Right Honourable Speaker.
Yeah.
He has made mention of the amounts. He has made mention of the amounts. The novation, the 1-year extension, the amounts envisaged in the 1-year extension were already established in the original contract. I want you to understand. The original contract states that we are giving a contract for 5 years with the possibility of extension. And if it is extended, this is the breakdown of the payments. Nothing changed.
I put a question, those in favor, please.
The amendment.
Hello? Amendment to what?
On that
recommendation.
That recommendation.
Yes. Cast the recommendation.
Right Honourable Speaker, at least I've been in this house for quite a long time, and my experience is always Parliament always investigates, but it cannot pass a judgment. Why don't we amend and say the relevant agencies should take action depending on the information we have? Otherwise, I'm finding it difficult that you become a prosecutor and become a judge in your own court. Why don't we amend and say the relevant agency will prove this beyond reasonable doubt? Let the relevant agencies take action.
Information, Honourable Chair.
Information, Honourable Sarah Chitio.
Thank you so much. Right Honourable Speaker, I find it tricky when this House, already the chairperson of the committee and the Attorney General, they are having conflicts on some documents and some information. The pinnacle, the chair informed this Honourable House last time that these people have been in the contract for 6 years. And there is that information that Pinnacle took over just 3 months. They've been in that leadership for 3 months. It's like even the information that we have for us that we are going to base on to take the judgment is half-baked. I kindly suggest, like I said last time, we are going to do mob justice. We are going to do mob justice over something that we haven't even been, we've not given full information. I therefore suggest that we allow the Attorney General to give us all the amended or the legal position before we commit such a huge crime. I beg to submit.
Let's have order. This matter is not for debate. Don't raise order or procedure. If the Attorney General, whom we said in this House should come and give us opinion and guidance, he has come to give. They are disagreeing. The chairperson is disagreeing with the Attorney General. It's my duty, knowing that each one here has a minimum of A level, to take a decision based on what you know. It's not my decision. That when the Attorney General says this, the chairperson and the committee says this, it's the decision you are going to vote yes or no. Please, I am informed on this procedure matter. Please, this time let's process it. We are not going to speak big English words here. Simple. The government, because the decision is going to be made. That decision, they'll give us, we go left or right. You can't go nowhere.
Right Honourable Speaker, allow me to thank both the committee chair and the Attorney General for the submissions.
Right Honorable Speaker, I had opportunity to look at some of the documents. The contract which was extended was only extended for 1 year. And right now, what is left is only 9 months. When we terminate, we go for arbitration, and it will cost us heavily. That is one. Number two, the contract also provides very clearly that the ministry can still issue a directive to the contractor to complete what the contractor was supposed to do, and it should be done within 14 days. So in my considered opinion, terminating the contract at this time, when we are left with 9 months, is not so valuable, and then we end up paying so much. Why don't we give time for the contract to expire, while in the meantime, the ministry takes critical interest in the contractor's work and ensures that the contractor complies within the stipulated 14 days. I thank you.
I want to put a question to the recommendation which is cast out there. Please sit down, my brother. Please. Don't try to frustrate this. Whether you postponed it to next year or what, a decision has to be made. Please. If you, being a senior member of the House, I expect you, because Honorable Kakoza only in Uganda is the only MP who will represent all shades of, except being youth MP. Very soon after, the elderly is coming for PWD, and then so I want you people, I have reminded you the decision you are making, it will be your decision, and based on your judgment. This is a recommendation. Right Honorable Prime Minister, we cannot terminate a contract. We only recommend. And here, even our recommendation should be based on sound legal position. Sound, where there is no question about that. Sound legal position. And now put the question. Those in favor of recommendation number 1 to stay as it is for termination, to say aye. Nay. And to the court, I've not concluded. Those in favor of recommendation 1 say aye, to the contrary say nay. Didn't I say nice? The nice have it. Oh, you want us to repeat? We count? Because I don't want us to be accused of being mob justice. We can even have now your hands up. Those in favor, the clerks, you get up. Because where I can't find the decision properly. I put a question. So, clear question, don't try to compete shouting. If you are few, don't say, I now clearly put a question. Those in favor of recommendation number 1, say aye, to the contrary is nay. The nays have it. Recommendation 2.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. The committee recommends, recommendation number 2, the committee recommends that the Ministry of Works and Transport takes immediate charge of the operations and maintenance of the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway in a bid to save government of Uganda from huge expenditure on private contractual arrangements for the benefit of the taxpayer. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues.
Hello, Attorney General. Were you in the House when we were taking this recommendation number 1? What is the implication of number 1 to 2?
Number 2 collapses as a consequence.
Number 3? No, please.
Number 3 collapses as well, Right Honourable Speaker.
What does the chair say on 2 and 3?
Thank you, Right Honourable. Yes, indeed, if it's the opinion of the House, number 2 and 3 and 4 collapse.
Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Speaker, allow me just make a small clarification. In the beginning, I told you that a number of mistakes were made, and that's why we are in this place. For example, Section 9 of the Roads Act mandates the government entity to be the one doing the tolling, meaning that it should have been the Ministry of Works. In the first place, we shouldn't have contracted, but we did that. Now we are in the 6th year. That's why the Right Honourable Chief Whip was saying, let us run this because we are left with 9 months. Then we make sure we do not make those mistakes
again. You want to take us to 5? Because if this report has not informed the government, then you will need another report in hell.
Right Honourable Speaker.
Not on earth.
Right Honourable Speaker, number 5 collapses as well.
How?
Right Honourable Speaker, number 5 is to the effect that the committee recommends that the Permanent Secretary of Ministry of Works, who issued the illegal, unlawful and felonious notes of extension.
Okay. Chair, what's your response?
Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Members, the issue in this recommendation was, were they satisfied by the time they extended? Because we already have reports from UNRA, from URA, from their own audit, Ministry of Works. So the issue is, by the time he extended, was he satisfied with the performance? And we are recommending investigation. I don't see why they are worried about investigation. If he is innocent, he will be proved right. Investigation is not indictment.
Do you want to stop at investigation only?
By the relevant authority?
Yes.
Let the relevant authority investigate. There's no problem with investigating someone's actions. If he's innocent, he'll be proved innocent.
Yes. What does the Attorney General again say what?
Right Honourable Speaker, the original contract says there will be an extension if they are satisfied. Okay? The person clothed with the authority of assessing and being satisfied is the Ministry of Works. It is not me, it is not the committee. And the Ministry of Works made an assessment and the PS went ahead.
I think, yes.
Right Honourable.
Why don't you want the PS to be investigated?
No, my understanding of this is that his extension of the contract was premised on the fact that he assessed the performance and was satisfied. But if the House thinks otherwise,
because
it is not within my ambit.
Because what Attorney General needed to know, which I know you know, and you've admitted on record, that the contract provisions you are referring to, they have not complied. Government side, you have also defaulted. There are mistakes. And I thought that was honorable of you, to be honest, that clause 9 was saying, no, you should not contract it out. You know? So now if, what you want us not to investigate?
Right Honorable, I want to be clear. I have not refused any investigation.
Okay.
I'm not opposed. I'm simply saying the extension was made on the basis that he was satisfied. But the House...
Why can't that be
the House,
defense?
sorry, the committee has made a recommendation. And
Honorable Paul?
The House is at liberty to take the recommendation of the committee, and we accept it.
Honorable Paul Mwiru, you were stretching or you were thinking?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are doing our work, and the danger of getting guidance from the Attorney General, who was supposed to peruse the agreement for extension, and he perused none, and there is a subsisting extended contract where the Solicitor General did not approve. It would be, in my view, wrong for us to stop an investigation. Our recommendations are not self-executing. They are advisory to government. And if in even the opinion of government, you think that our recommendation, you can ignore them. But we cannot say that we cannot take a recommendation.
I put the question to recommendation number 5. Where is it? I put a question.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, sir, the putting of a question is very key. But you see, when you listen to the Attorney General and the chair of the committee, members, just give me, Madam Prime Minister, the Speaker has allowed me. Mr. Speaker, you see, I was here with you during the Wasajabalaba Harbour contract. And that's when we censured the Attorney General and the Minister of Finance in this House. We must be very careful of not losing independence of Parliament. We must be very careful. Here we are. The Attorney General appeared and the other entities. The chair and the committee have recommendations which are going to be passed by this House. And those, after passing them, they go to government, either to take them or leave them. And the results are what we call the Treasury Memoranda for Parliament. But here we are. This Parliament, it started in that, it was within the 11th Parliament, where we are getting Attorney General, what? Attorney General, and then where we are losing independence. My prayer is, already, if this report is losing 4 recommendations which are key, and we are bringing the last one, it is almost, it is collapsing. But my prayer, and Mr. Speaker, sir, with all the trust I have in you, from the beginning of your becoming Speaker, is that we must not lose our independence, and the institution and our organs should be seen to this work.
Honorable Sewungu, so Attorney General should not give legal guidance in the House?
Mr. Speaker, his opinion, it can be taken or left, but it's not binding on us.
Yes.
It's not. But however, what we are seeing now, Mr. Speaker, is putting the report down. He's throwing the report down and it's disappearing technically. And I want the chair to tell us, if the first 4 recommendations have all collapsed, where is your report in all this? Tell us. Through Mr. Chair.
What Honorable Sewungu is saying is a constant reminder to the House. And that's why I said you have to choose between termination and not termination. And I emphasized that about 3 times. And when the Attorney General said this, the chairman said the other one. So what Honorable Sewungu is saying is that the Attorney General is diluting the report. But Attorney General is a constitutional body that we believe he should take his constitutional role seriously. I don't think that is working. If Attorney General misadvises the House, then it would be a different thing. But if it's in the opinion of the rest, the majority, that Attorney General is right here, the chairperson is right here, me is to take that decision. If you ask me for... So I don't know why you have conflict of interest. Don't take time. Actually, you should not vote.
Chair,
Yeah.
speak. Right Honorable Speaker.
You have... No. I mean, Honorable... Yes. Attorney General, how solid is your opinion?
Right Honorable Speaker,
I think since you've agreed with one...
I have no personal interest in this.
Then let this one also...
I'm looking at the facts as they have been given to me. Okay? If Parliament wishes to carry the recommendation of the committee, it is okay. That is all I can say. I'm not opposed to the recommendation of the committee to investigate.
Then you pass it.
My role is to give you the facts and the law as it is.
Because
I beg to submit.
You still have a role, even after I've recommended. You have a treasury memorandum to come and tell us, we failed to do this because of this. Yeah, but you shouldn't be thumping your chest, or anybody here, that I have killed you. No. So, because that is supposed to, if we kill what Honorable Sebungo is saying, the independence of Parliament, means that you are here to make an independent decision. The required qualification of being a member of Parliament is Senior 6. That you make independent decision. And I emphasize that. The way you exercise it, I am not part of it. I will be here as an umpire. Inside me, I also know what I said. If I were the MP, what would I have said? What could I have done? So, we proceed. Number 5. Amendments. With amendment? Yes? And Honorable Katabaz is one of those I had wanted, because we wanted a smaller group to go and sort this out. But they said it was not known to the procedures. Yes?
Right, Honorable Speaker. Much as I agree with the substance of the recommendation, it contains adjectival characterization of words like illegal, unlawful, and felonious, which ordinarily would come from an investigation. So if we are proceeding with the recommendation that an investigation be carried out, it's my humble view that those characterizations be omitted from the recommendation.
So how would it read?
Right, Honorable, it would read, read, the committee recommends that the permanent secretary who issued the notice of extension to Pinnacle Security Limited on 20th May 2026, without the Attorney General's advice required under Article 119(5) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, be investigated by the Inspector General of Government and the Director of Public Prosecutions for abuse of office, contrary to Section 10 of the Anti-Corruption Act, Cap 116, with findings reported to Parliament within 3 months. I am adding the element of time.
And I want to put a question. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary say no. Aye. Because this is where the whole thing started. I wanted you first to vote, and I would tell you, here, the extension, the contract you are terminating, started by the PS initiating the extension. So if you lose this, then you will not talk about anything, not even the termination. This is COA, where the other independent body will be able to look into the merits, the circumstances of, so the eyes have it. If you, have I put the question? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, it's a little bit confusing, and I hope for posterity we try and, in my considered view, shape up a couple of things. So, in recommendation number 1, we are saying we should not terminate. We are coming to recommendation number 5. We are saying the PS should be investigated for, among other things, giving a contract without approval of the Solicitor General. So we are blaming the PS. We are saying, PS, you signed a contract without approval. That's the wording. But in the first one, we are saying, no. Actually, there was approval. So I don't know if you see the mix, because you cannot say one thing and another. When you say terminate because, don't terminate because there was approval by the Solicitor General. But in number 5, we are saying let's nail the PS for, among other things, signing the contract without approval of the Attorney General. So much confusion. But even more importantly, Right Honourable Speaker.
Look.
Yes, sir.
Just to, the first one was termination independently for breach. For breach. They said it was for breach of contract. It's only the Attorney General who came and gave his legal opinion earlier that they also participated in the process. For me, I read this, you can recast it, but it was for breach of contract, having neglected or failed to perform its obligation precisely. Now this one, they are tying it on the Attorney General. And you all know, the chairperson said there was no communication from the Attorney General. And it was, the Attorney General says there was a communication. Why can't that be investigated?
Right, Honourable Speaker, and that's why in generic terms I was saying, even away from this particular report, regardless of the side it gets to be, I think for posterity, the way committee reports get to be processed, maybe we should do it differently also in regard to our rules. Why? Because the Attorney General had or should have had opportunity to appear before the committee. Now, apparently he did not appear when he was invited and so on. Now, when a committee comes up with a report, with the input, by the way, the Attorney General can show up, give his input, and the committee still disagrees with the Attorney General. That's granted. But that eventually when the report comes here, what now the Attorney General is doing is what should be happening when they meet, I don't know whether in Prime Minister's office or wherever, to begin to take whichever action, and then they come back to us with an action taken report. But now we seem to be processing this report afresh. This is now like a committee of the whole House. That's why it's a bit confusing. And I'm now not even talking about the merits, but the process that now the committee chair is here, Attorney General is saying no, Prime Minister also jumps up and says no, for this one we are saying nay, and it becomes a bit tacky. So for posterity, Mr. Speaker, that a report comes, we agree with the report or we disagree with that report as plenary. And then government will go and take whichever action. By the way, we can even say that if the committee report is saying don't terminate, and we pass and Parliament will say yes, we agree with the committee report, don't terminate, government can still go and terminate, regardless of the report that we have passed. And then they come back to us and they say, you people recommended no termination, but for us we terminated as government, and these are our reasons. So that should have happened much later, but we have put the cart before the horse. Maybe next time better.
I think I agree with you entirely, save for the dragging of the Attorney General in the report and recommendation. The Attorney General only came to this because it's mentioned in this report severally. And while we were processing the debate, I asked the Attorney General to clarify, and then he said they would come back. But you've given general principle that it cannot be the practice that when the report comes, the Attorney General helps in the processing. That would be very wrong. It is only now that you were mentioned severally, and I did not even expect you to be the one, you know, you are a hired advocate for the government side, so I did not expect you, but the government chose you to do that. But because your name was, your office was mentioned here severally, and the committee report writing, try to exhaust so that you don't drag these people to be, they would not be relevant. We would be going by the way you draft the report, you tagging it to someone finished, then Attorney General say, no, our office did not, our office did this, and then you're saying, no, you did not do that. They bring a letter. It makes the work of a presiding officer very difficult. And Attorney General, you need to appreciate that even when I sit here, the other day it made me very uncomfortable when I could not get help from this side and we adjourned. It is also unusual that we go close by close. It's usually we would be a chorus and it is done. But it's because of this, you know. So we are learning together, but Attorney General, you should not, it's not about who wins. Parliament should always win because the committee works for Parliament. You can go and do your work that side. After all, we are not asking you to use a panga to cut a thread. We are telling you we are not happy with the processes. And whatever happened here is really very important that Attorney General was mentioned in paragraph 5 in the, even a Supreme Court decision was, then I said, the committee mentioned the role of Attorney General in the Supreme Court in this report, which formed that they were ignored. And we even also were concerned, why was the Attorney General ignored by Minister of Works? I hope you know the background. For the future readers of the Hansards, we've dragged in the Attorney General because the committee report dragged him in. But this is not the practice. Don't even start practicing for any other committee report that that you will do this. We shall move on minibus and we go, you know, here I was cautiously fearing how litigation would come because of some of the decisions we can make, you know. So let's go on. What is left?
Recommendation number 6. The committee having found the immediate and former Auditor Generals, respectively, to be largely in the neglect of their duties to conduct financial.
Even there you want to respond? You
No,
Auditor General?
Right Honourable Speaker, I thought I would read it, but Right Honourable Speaker.
Because where you mentioned stops at 5, you know, termination, we wanted to know, was there a contract to terminate? And this one. Why can't the government chief whip so that the Parliament appears to be independent?
Right Honourable. Thank you.
Yes. Where you are again needed, legal, you would come.
Right Honorable Speaker, on the issue of recommendation number 6, to the best of our knowledge as government, the Auditor General did carry out an audit. And I beg to lay the report of the Auditor General on the Information Systems Audit of Kampala-Entebbe Expressway toll system at the Ministry of Works and Transport as of August 2026. I beg to lay.
That report should actually the Attorney General formally wrote to me and forwarded the report, which they did a few, when this investigation was going on, I think they were already in the report writing. So,
Yes, so
that report is sent to which committee? Park Central.
Yes, so Right Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true that the committee had not received this report at the time that they made their recommendation. And so I request that that recommendation is dropped and we process as you have guided. I thank you.
What the committee needs also to, the chairman should get up and tell us. Because I read the committee report, I read the Auditor General's report, and there's some agreement clearly. Yes. Chair?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. Just for the record, all the reports the Auditor General has submitted are not revenue audits. And the committee was faulting him for not auditing revenue. The reports they have just laid is a systems audit. The one of 2023 was regarding the fence and the lighting. So they are not revenue audits. When we interacted with the Auditor General, he submitted a document yesterday and it's part of this. And he clearly stated he could not audit revenue because of a lack of independent traffic monitoring system. That was the reason he gave us, and he submitted the response yesterday together with this report. But what the committee was more interested in was the revenue audit.
So, and that is very true. The Auditor General is in the report. They could not audit the revenue, and that was where we were interested. The revenue audit is the most important because the roll toll has no what? Yes, it is still they want cash. So there, whoever you will bring will still fail or will continue stealing the money. The Auditor General also faulted from 2022, they recommended actually, Auditor General, they recommended the termination of this contract because the person had not formed. So the committee which is going to handle this, which is another committee of parliament, should be able to task these people. A report is there from 2022. If the chairperson had gotten this earlier, I'm sure that your recommendation on this would have, and they were also not clear to you, it would have been different. So I want us to process this. So chairperson, what do you think about your recommendation? Should we still go for, do you concede or we put a wall?
Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, as a committee that process work for the House, what our interest is and was for the revenue to be audited, not these other reports for fences and so Right Honorable, in the event that the Auditor General says he could not audit because there was no independent traffic monitoring system, and I read the report, he also recommended termination of this contract. So Right Honorable, I leave it to the House.
The Prime Minister is saying But you're not on record. When did the Prime Minister start talking off record in Parliament? Yes, some...
Thank you.
Honorable... That's a permanent member of Parliament. So, Prime Minister, okay. So, Attorney General, you want to say something?
Attorney Speaker, when I was starting, I told you that a number of mistakes were made. And some of these things started right from UNRWA, especially this same contract. So we may not be in position to correct them now. We have 9 months left. We have made a lot of mistakes, and as I will explain even in the next recommendations, some of these contracts should not have been there at all. But we literally gave them away. Like the chair of the committee has said, we have no monitoring system to monitor the revenue. So even if we terminate now and bring another person on board, we still have no.
So we are talking about the Auditor General, the
Yes.
clause 9(6).
The Auditor General is in agreement to have a forensic audit, but the issue is it doable? My proposal is that we agree, we carry the recommendation
Okay.
of the forensic audit.
Members, let that recommendation be put up there, be cast on the board, and we put a question.
Suspending? No way. Right Honorable, may I clarify? It
Again?
seems that we are talking on cross purposes. The recommendation number 6 proposes suspension of the Auditor General. And yet, we have
But
audit
that's-
reports here.
But that's what we are talking about. I take it that members
Yes.
are alive to what is going on.
Most obliged.
So when you overdo it, that's when the Parliament loses its independence. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. As we are talking about the forensic audit that we want to
That will
happen.
be in paragraph 7.
Yes.
That will be paragraph 7.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, let's take a decision on this. One, the committee chair, the committee report, and the Auditor General, they agree that there was no audit. What is that called? Revenue audit. But what is there is ITMS, and that's what they audited. They did not audit the revenue. So the reason is that the contractor had not put what? The other revenue auditing whatever system. So would you blame the Auditor General for not having audited? Because there was no system. So you've understood this. Paul, Honorable Paul. If we make a mistake, let's make it together. Because we shall be blamed.
Right Honorable Speaker, this matter first is getting complicated in that we need to hear from Dr. John what were the limitations. Because you see, he ought to have audited and said, I hit it up to this level. They will say that this was the limitation. Because now we are going to take a decision without us dealing with the report.
Information.
He has produced, but I'm not allowed.
Okay.
Without dealing with the report, he has produced. And being an officer of Parliament. It also puts us in a very precarious situation, pronounce ourselves without dealing with the report, actually as brought out. Given the wording of the recommendation, because even drugs in the former, but I would, in my view, propose that actually, let me also state this on record, actually, that the National Speaker, you may need to give guidance to even to our committees, because we have been seeing a thin line between standing committees and sectoral committees on work they are actually doing. And this is evidence, because now, if we went this way, my humble view, Honorable Speaker, would be that when it comes to this recommendation, it is be deferred pending the disposal of the Auditor General's report. I thank you.
And the question I wanted to put is for deletion.
Procedure, Right Honourable. There is something that we are missing.
Please. We have everything. You say we are missing something.
Right Honourable, in the response of the Attorney General, there's this paragraph that I wanted to read. Because the chairperson is saying there was no audit. Yes, but this paragraph clearly, from the Auditor General's report, it answers that. May I read it? Thank you.
No, I don't think that you're following what we are saying. There is agreement that there was audit. But audit of what?
Right Honourable, when you read this, it explains.
Okay, you read it. Read it. And I pray it is the correct in the context of what we are saying.
Thank you, Right Honourable. The paragraph states, response. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members.
Kindly help us know which paragraph of which document.
It is on...
which page?
I'm looking for the page here. Page 7.
Of which one?
Of the Attorney General's response. Page 7. First paragraph, after B. It says, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members, in performing its mandate, the Office of the Auditor General performed audits on former UNRA, which audits included audits of the Expressway project. I wish to highlight the following Auditor General's report. A. Financial year 2014-2015, the Auditor General conducted an engineering audit which was debated in Parliament, which highlighted inadequate initial planning, duplicating consultancy costs, and significant...
Honourable Member, I want you to be relevant.
When you read B, okay.
I want you to be relevant to
B?
the...
Okay, let me go to B. Financial year 2021-2022, the Auditor General audited UNRA's total revenue corrections. And it goes ahead to say, and reconcile them with what was reported in the financial year statements. And that's what we are missing, Right Honourable.
What were we missing?
The chairperson said, the Honourable Chairperson said, revenue corrections were never audited. And in this paragraph is clearly stated that they were audited. That's what I wanted to submit, Right Honourable.
This is not, by the way, the Attorney General, you stand by this document that there was revenue collection audit.
Right Honourable Speaker, we had a meeting with the Auditor Generals. Okay?
Then that's more problem.
That's how we came to this.
I see a huge report.
Yes.
The Auditor General told us in his report there that he did the auditing of the machines.
Right, maybe, permit me read the whole paragraph.
Revenue collection system.
Permit me read the whole paragraph. Right, Honourable Speaker. We sat in a meeting.
This is under UNRWA, not toll-free expressway, not under this aegis, not aegis. People, by the time you are asked to be a speaker, sometimes I don't eat because I have to read to be in this house. So I don't want, I did not only read the report, I met the delegation from Auditor General's office, because this is critical. And they admitted that the committee is right, that they did not do what? Revenue audit. And they explained that they could not do what was not there. Let me get a financial expert. Please, only when you know you are an expert in finance, talk to me now.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker, we all know that when we are making a recommendation to address any issue, the recommendation must be smart. In this case, we have actually confirmed that the recommendation 6 misses out the aspect of being realistic. And as such, I would want to agree with the government position earlier, which the government chief whip presented, that we drop this recommendation. At worst, if we are to keep it, we modify it to read as follows: that the Auditor General, together with UNRWA, with URA, conducts a forensic audit of the revenue collections since the inception of the project by the end of June 2027. In that way, we shall have actually come up with a smart recommendation. I thank you, Honourable Speaker.
You know, the proposal which is before us, I think that what Honorable Marx said, being realistic, I think everyone is scared of what is here. The chairman has said that he has so far reviewed the documents to know that what the other people were talking, they could not do revenue audit. I don't know whether there is any member of parliament here who says that they did. I leave this chair for you. Now, if they did not, and they did not because there was no system in place, so how would you recommend to kill them or to prosecute them? That's the point. The other time, I don't know whether you've understood. Yes. Now, the reason is that there was no system for them to audit the revenue. This one came as with this report which they've just tabled here by the government chief whip. This recommendation would now fall if we had to take a decision. If there was a system to audit the revenue, then we would take a decision that they were negligent. I thought that was my understanding. So when I put the question with that guidance, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, you are over-engaging the Attorney General. We know this is the embargo season, but so have you understood this? So I still have to put it the way, because even if we go with the Honorable Max Ochai's amendment, there is no system. There is no system for them to work together. So the recommendation would fall by wayside. I put the question. For those who are in favor of recommendation 6, say aye. To the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. You make us talk too much Luzungu, Dupadola, and what? This is number 7 on forensic audit. Can we have those in favor of recommendation 7 say aye, to the contrary, nay? Aye. The ayes have it. 8.
Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the committee recommends that a thorough investigation by the CID under Uganda Police and the IGG's office on the entire personnel in charge of the operation and management of the tolling system for Kampala-Entebbe Expressway with a view of being prosecuted for offences of unauthorized modification of computer materials under Section 13 of the Computer Misuse Act and the offence of causing financial loss under Section 19 of the Anti-Corruption Act. Right Honourable Speaker, on this my response is that the issue of determining offences should be left as the role of the DPP. We have no problem with the investigations, but let the DPP...
So what did you...
We are in agreement with the proposed investigations, but determining the offences is within the ambit or the mandate of the DPP. Thank you.
Yes, that is in view. This is the preferring of charges now. The committee is preferring charges. We want you to investigate them on this. How about if they find other offenses? So they shouldn't. Chairman.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker and members. It's okay to drop the charges, but to maintain the investigation.
Yes, Honourable Katabazi.
Right, Honourable Speaker. There is an element of speculation on the statement that references with a view of being prosecuted, but then there is an element of reporting deadline, in which case I would propose 6 months, and also I would want to narrow the scope from the entire personnel to actually those who are responsible, and in which case I want to propose as follows. The committee recommends that Uganda Police Force Criminal Investigations Directorate and the Inspector General of Government investigate personnel responsible for operating and managing the tolling system for unauthorized modification of computer material and causing financial loss, and reports to Parliament within 6 months.
I want to put the question as amended. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, nay. Aye. The ayes have it. 9.
The committee recommends that government recovers from Pinnacle Security Limited all lost funds from the illegal free passes as per the Roads Act, Chapter 344, attributed to its staff through an audit process by the Office of the Auditor General. For example, the computed total free passes at Busega Road Toll Plaza between January and June 2026, January 2022 and June 2026 amounted to 314.3 million. My response to this, Right Honourable Speaker, I have already told you that we made mistakes in the beginning. The Roads Act is very clear on who is entitled to a free pass. There are 3 categories: emergency vehicles, the president's convoy, and the fire brigade. But because of the mistakes made earlier, at making the contract, they put a clause allowing the contractor to have free passes for its employees who are monitoring and managing the tolling system. And that's where this loss arose. Therefore, the Ministry of Works, together with the Office of the Attorney General, should work together to regularize this exemption. But indeed, we have agreed that we let the contract run through. But going forward, only the envisaged exemptions are for emergency vehicles, the presidential convoy, and fire brigade. So now we can maintain the status quo. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Right Honourable Members. Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable Members. We made this recommendation because we are alive to the fact that a contract cannot override the provisions of the law. If they made mistakes, they must account for those mistakes.
I want to put a question. Amendment? This one is quite, Attorney General on record has admitted. A contract signed by parties cannot change the provision of the law. This parliament should not be party to that. So you want to amend which one?
Right, Honourable Speaker. If what I have is the same as the committee report, the committee recommends that government recovers from Pinnacle Security Limited, and therefore it misses the element of Aegis in the whole equation. Because on the committee's own figures, the free passages run from January 2022 to June 2026, so which has to be split between the 2 companies managing the toll system.
So would it be okay in that case to say the government recovers from the contractor? In this contractor, the word rides through Aegis and Pinnacle.
Thank you, Right Honourable. We referred to Pinnacle because when they innovated, Pinnacle took the liability of Aegis.
What would you think the contractor?
Even the contractor is okay, but in this case, Aegis no longer exists. It's Pinnacle.
Okay, I put the question. Clause 9. The recommendation 9 to recover the money. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, aye. Aye. 10.
Right Honourable Speaker, number 10 says URA should undertake.
The ayes have it. That's why you were rushing so that I forget. Then say, yes.
Most obliged.
Attorney General, stop these legal issues. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Right Honourable Speaker, number 10, the committee recommends that URA should undertake a forensic audit on Pinnacle Security Limited in order to establish the tax liability with a view of recovering any circumvented tax through under declaring. Right Honourable Speaker and colleagues, the Office of the Auditor General in their report highlighted the need for a forensic audit. So we are in agreement with this recommendation.
I put the question.